Poor David's a bitch. On the good ship, Amistad, it's a slave ship, and it's very hot when you row all day, and they whip you on the back with chains. It's a wooden ship, and it smells a lot like an armpit or a bad egg fart, and when you die of disease, they throw the body in the sea. Squished in a hole, no toilet bowl, your pillow is a rat. And if you complain, oh no, white never beat you with the rusty chain. On a slave ship, they don't serve no food. When you get seasick, they feed it back to you. Life is very hard on the good ship, on the star.
25 past 10 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday to you. We still have no information on our new lineup for Monday. We don't like to plan too far ahead. We like to keep you like hanging on a string, right on the edge of your seat. Right. Suspense. We like a little suspense. George had some suspense in his stomach this morning because he made a bad culinary decision.
Not had.
That'll teach you. You deserve it. Anybody that would eat at Denny's?
It was right there.
What?
It was right there,
Yeah.
They didn't have to burn everything.
That's the excuse. It was right there, and so you made that bad mistake?
Oh, it was brutal.
Lenny's asked America what they wanted in an all-you-can-eat breakfast.
I want more than just a lot of food.
I want a lot of choices.
Bacon, pancakes, and eggs any way I want them.
Oh, and sausages, those little sausages that look like dog turds.
Yeah, the ones that always come stuck together. Why is that?
And I don't want it warmed under a heat lamp at some fast food place. I want it warmed under a heat lamp at Lenny's.
Tell you how I want it. I want bacon really fatty and lean so that when you pick it up, it sort of droops off your finger. And eggs with the yolk broken so they're hot as a rock.
And I want it served by a fat, sullen waitress with a mustache so I have an excuse to stiff her. Hey, bring it to me, bitch, now!
And I don't want to stand in line. I want to wait in line to get seated for a really long time.
They do that at Denny's. Lenny's.
America, there's a new all-you-can-eat Grand Slam breakfast menu at Lenny's. It's everything you already expect from Lenny's, just a lot more of it at room temperature.
So you liked it, huh? Yeah, don't make that mistake. Although I'm sure we have a lot of people out there in the audience who love Denny's.
They've been in business so long, you'd think after so many years they've got to have their act together by now, right?
They do have their act together. What you ate is what you get. There are people who like what you had this morning. There are people who enjoy being sick all day and puking their guts out and having wild screaming diarrhea for 2-3 days.
Hash browns, slimy eggs.
Yeah.
The pancake was all right.
Hey, look, well, I can think of lots of places that are incredibly popular. We don't have to go through the whole litany of them again that are just really crap. But that's public taste, man. I keep going back to the gold standard, vanilla ice cream. It's the most popular selling flavor in the entire world, vanilla ice cream. There's nothing that even comes close.
I have to presume it's because people are putting stuff on it.
Yeah.
Using it
let me
also
say that anything you have to put something else on to embellish it, like French fries, for example, or like, what's another example? Or like mashed potatoes that you got to, like, douse gravy all over because it has no taste.
You're just not a potato guy.
No, I like mashed potatoes if they're good.
I like
with gravy. Although, you know what's really the best is really good homemade mashed potatoes with butter melted on them.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about dousing it in gravy.
Nice
butter.
And chunky with the peel still on them.
Now we're talking. Anyway, 28 after 10. I guess, I don't know whether they're like in denial or whether they're just, I don't know what all the legal shenanigans are going on, but all the articles that I'm reading, and even Stern himself, they're talking about Citadel dropping him on those 4 stations in Syracuse and Peoria and Podunk and whatever. Nothing is said about the fact that tomorrow's his last day on QAM, so I don't know what that means. Do you have any idea what that means? He hasn't had one call about it, so obviously they're screening those calls out because they don't want to talk about it on their show.
Maybe we're beneath his notice.
Is that what it is? Plus they can always promote the buzz in Palm Beach and pretend that people in South Broward and Dade County can hear it, At least they don't chop it up like something in a meat grinder or poke holes like Swiss cheese in it. At least they carry the show the way it is. I'll say that. Which goes to point out that it was a bad mistake. But then again, we're famous for bad mistakes, usually by the same person. Hey, ring in the new year with a new car or truck from the folks at Armstrong Ford Homestead. You've been putting off buying anything, but now don't wait another minute because for a limited time, get yourself 0% financing on any of the following new 05s in stock ready for immediate delivery. Escapes, Freestars, Tauruses, F Super Duty Harley-Davidson trucks, and the all-new Ford 500. Want more? Then how about 1.9% financing on all new 05 Expeditions, Explorers, F-150s, and Rangers? Even Bruce Ranger is discounted. Certain restrictions apply. Lots at Armstrong Ford of Homestead are jammed, and they're cutting prices right now. They offer more value to you, too, because when you buy your Ford from Armstrong Ford, you'll get their exclusive, unmatchable, unheard of Tires and Batteries for Life program. That's correct, Tires and Batteries for Life. Plus, for a limited time, a free Florida Sun Pass, too. David Rich and his staff will do just about anything. They'll stand on the head to guarantee you the best price. And don't forget, because they're locally owned and operated, Armstrong Ford of Homestead will treat you just like family because they want to make you a customer for life. You won't get a better deal on a Ford anywhere in town. I'll bet you Maddie Bell's life on it. No bait and switch, no phony deals. All waiting for you at Armstrong Ford of Homestead, 30725 South Dixie Highway, 20 minutes south of the 836. Check them on at Wicked Web at ArmstrongCars.com, and then drive just a little extra, but save a ton, thousands on that new Ford, only at Armstrong Ford of Homestead.
The Howard Stern Show. Neil Rogers, mornings and midday. And sports around the clock. 560 QAM.
Hey, it's Howard. Howard Sperm.
He walks in the boardroom, sits in his leather chair. He's got a $5,000 suit and $3 hair. Someone's time on the show is about to expire when Donald Trump says you're fired. Carolyn and George are sitting by his side. Pretty soon someone new is gonna take a taxi ride. You say you feel bad for them, but you know you're a liar. 'Cause we all love to hear you're fired. You're fired. You are so fired. Get out of here, you're fired. It was a tough one, but you're fired.
10:34, 26 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Now, yesterday we had a little technical problem. It was my fault, little accident. I was just moving that schedule around, which, of course, at QM, that's one of our favorite hobbies, is shifting the schedule all around. And I accidentally hit a button, kind of like that. And then I pressed this button over here, and then you went into an echo.
All right.
You heard it again?
Yeah. I was hoping you remember how you did that.
Yeah, well, I did. Just to bring it back in. And then come to find out that there are people inside the building. To save them the embarrassment, we better not mention any names on here. People thought that was intentional. It was shtick. Oh, that was really funny what you guys did yesterday. Man, we got some morons in there or what? Some real morons inside that QAM building. That's another good reason not to be there. Although it is snowing like crazy and ice pellets and nasty here right now, but it's okay. Don't bother me. It's nice and toasty inside my little studio here, and there ain't nobody here to bug the crap out of me, you know? There's a lot to be said for that. How's Tommy's band doing? He's got any gigs coming up that we can promote?
Yeah, actually, but I don't know when they are. We can find out.
Well, have him write it out. We'll promote the hell out of it. I think that's where we're really missing the boat. I don't understand what that whole deal with Stern and QM is all about, because it's like... it's been everywhere. Every radio trade publication. It's been in Billboard. It's been FMQB and Radio Inc., Radio and Records, the Weekly Reader, Reader's Digest, every newspaper, every TV, and I don't understand that. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're trying to, snub us, you know, like we're small potatoes and we don't care anyway. You think that's it? Here's some good news to start out today. Here's some great news for all of us who despise the Nazi Bund that's running America today and the last two very dubious elections. A small group of Democrats agreed today to force House and Senate debates on Election Day problems in Ohio before letting Congress certify President Bush's election victory over Senator John Kerry in November. Senator Barbara Boxer, Democrat of California. We love Barbara, and she's got the balls to be a boxer. She could probably knock Mike Tyson on his ass.
She's our boy.
You go, girl. Barbara Boxer cited a challenge mounted by House Democrats to Ohio's 20 electoral votes, which put Bush over the top. By law, a challenge signed by members of the House and Senate requires both chambers to meet separately for up to 2 hours to consider it. Lawmakers are allowed to speak for no more than 5 minutes each. Now, of course, this is the challenge that they tried to do in 2000 when it was obvious the election was rigged, and not one member of the Senate, not one Democrat, not Al Gore, who was sitting up there as President pro tem, not Ted Kennedy, not John Kerry, not anybody. had the balls, not even Russ Feingold, to say, yeah, we'll sign on with all you poor bastards. While Bush's victory is not in jeopardy, the Democratic challenge will force Congress to interrupt tallying the Electoral College vote that was scheduled to begin at 1 o'clock today. It would be only the second time since 1877 that the House and Senate were forced into separate meetings to consider electoral votes. And we're worried about having fair elections in Iraq. That's what we're concerned about. Yeah. I'll tell you what, we ought to start pointing to elections in other places like Ukraine and anywhere else in the world after we start figuring out how to have fair, trustworthy elections in the U.S. again, eh? But maybe that day will never come. WQAM, hello. This is the tone setter. QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil. Hey, two things I have for you. One, you know what really irks me? When people call up and they go, is this Neil? No, it's not the uncle. Who do you think it is?
Right.
Listen,
wouldn't you think by now we've been doing Screamers for about 75 years on this show? Wouldn't you think they would understand? Well, but it's just like that thing with that technical problem that I created yesterday by accident, and people inside our building were supposed to be radio people. I was thinking that it was like intentional, like we were doing shtick. What is that? Talk about stupid.
Exactly. Hey, the second thing I had for you is, you know, they've collected already $4 billion for this tsunami garbage thing. And you know what I don't like? Why are they asking me for more money? When you use the $4 billion, then I'll give you my $10.
Yeah, well, let me say this to you. When you know how it's going to be used and if it's going to get there, that's my concern.
There's $1 million companies right now in the States that have a whole army of people trying to figure out what to do with their money. No less than $4 billion. Who's making the interest on that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, that's what I just got that.
Good point, Pally. Good point. I'm not giving him a nickel. Okay, thanks.
Exactly.
Not that I'm a cheapskate. It's just that I'm very dubious about a lot of these relief organizations, and then you find just like the thing about this stupid-ass CD they're cutting. Mm-hmm. Anybody heard it yet? No, because it hasn't been done yet. We are the world. There's people dying. We're singing as fast as we can. What is that? I think Bob Geldof ought to be strung up by his nuts if he has any. I mean, that's just the dumbest pile of crap I ever heard in my life. Let's see, we had Farm Aid and Band-Aid and Kool-Aid and what else? USA for Africa, and now I don't remember what they call this one. We had that story the other day. What is that? Like, people need immediate, desperate, urgent help, assistance, and we're like cutting records, you know.
Yeah, cut a check.
Oh, no, that requires these people really, and don't forget, Sir Cliff Richard's in on this, and Ronan Keating, if he gets a break during his vacation in Switzerland, if he can find a studio within a 2-block radius of where he's hanging it out, he'll go and participate as well. The marginally talented Ronan Keating. He's all right. He's got a couple of good things. You don't like Ronan Keating?
I don't know who that is.
Okay. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, Pally. What's up? Que paso, man?
Hey, que paso? Yeah, I heard some rumors that tsunami wasn't even a natural occurrence and that they want to occupy it. So I just want to hear...
Yeah, right. Yeah, we want to occupy Sri Lanka, right? I think we probably were behind it. You know, Bush probably had one of his Nazis down there in the depths, you know, blowing off charges, whatever they were doing. Right, and that guy's got a good head start on it. Now, what just happened there? I don't. Oh, I see.
What?
You know, these new CD decks are great. The only problem is they go to sleep if you don't play them like right away. I don't know why that is. Huh?
Yeah, just slap them.
No, you know what that means? They go into sleep mode. It actually says sleep on there, and then you have to hit the Q thing to make sure they're going to start right away.
Oh, God.
Interesting.
I hate that.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
Okay. WQAM, hello.
Okay. QAM, hello. Let's get the...
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, what's up?
What's up? Que paso, man?
Oh, that's the same guy.
Well, we're
yeah, I heard
37
some
delay.
rumors that
Yeah, that was interesting. We're at about a 7-minute delay. I can't believe this. You talk about a chicken Schmidt operation, man. We used to be on a 7-second delay. Now we're on a 75-minute delay, just to make sure who's being naughty and nice. And, of course, that's because somebody put Pharrell and Howard on the air. Well, that was not probably a good idea. 5670560. We'll start the show now, I think. You know, I don't want to diddle around since we only got one more day of this anyway tomorrow.
Right. Don't diddle.
Think we ought to have a party?
Don't dawdle. I mean diddle.
I think we ought to have a ticker tape parade for the fantastic job that Stern and Robin and Artie and Baba Booey and all these people did.
We'll have a duct tape parade.
A duct tape parade? Sports! WQAM, hello. Not there. WQAM, hello.
Here's the real reason for that long delay you guys are on.
Yes?
It's because of that digital broadcasting. It requires an eternity to turn the analog signal into a digital signal.
This is the PD from Light 101.5 again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can leave the room and come back, and your
phone
call's not on the air yet.
You must be obsessed with this show. Good God. At least you got good taste anyway.
Well, thank you.
Although you never know by that music you guys are playing. Oh.
fact, I'm calling you from Naples. I'm not sure who that is.
Thanks. What is it?
I said I was calling you from Naples, where I'm listening to you from.
Oh, I see.
But, yeah, that long damn delay is caused by the digital signal thing that they have on there.
It does.
In band, on channel.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know. It sounds impressive. No, that's where they take the AM analog signal and make it digital and it's supposed to be the saving grace for AM, yada, yada, yada.
The signal sounds so
great. Yeah, especially if you tuned to either side of it. So that's where you get that noise.
Right. That super heterodyne whine. That's why people think we're whining all the time. It's not us, it's the signal. Okay, Pally, have a great day and get out of the business. And you too. That sounded like that guy again. Thanks to Robert. What's the guy's name from Light?
Rob Sidney.
Rob Sidney, he's the PD at a competitor, well, they're not really a competitor, a slush music station, Light 101.5, which used to be Life, didn't it? That's what it is. That's what they call it. It's WLIF.
It used to be where Greg Vidal was working most recently.
Oh, and before he went back to the country kitchen to be the maitre d'? I mean the server? I mean the greeter?
I'm not sure the order.
The chief cook and bottle washer or dishwasher? At any rate, we were having all these technical problems yesterday, and our good friend from Light called up, and if you missed that was some pretty scintillating radio. That was one of the highlights of my mediocre career, I'll tell you that. We're having problems that we had, and again, just because I accidentally hit a button here, and then I tried to correct it by hitting another button, which turned out to be the wrong one, and lo and behold, here comes a guy from right across the street calling in, and like he was our engineer. That was very nice of him. He didn't have to do that. And he knew exactly which button was where and where to stick it. And, of course, if you work for that crowd anyway, Jefferson Pilot and Dennis Collins, you know where to stick it, too, you know?
That's a cool name, though.
What's that?
Jefferson Pilot. Sounds
it's
like
an insurance company.
Band, right.
It's an insurance company.
Although it's not as cool as Sunshine
They're
Wireless.
certainly not a bunch of broadcasters. It's an insurance company. And, of course, they once upon a time owned WNWS after they bought it from Woody Subrink. They were on the brink. And then we had the Snooze Cruise. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
We had the Snooze Cruise after we put the tombstone right there in their front yard. Did we put it in their front yard or ours?
No, it was there on the causeway. They wouldn't receive it. They wouldn't allow you guys onto the property, remember?
Oh, yeah, they were all foaming at the mouth. And there was Dennis standing in front of the building with his hands on his hips like indignant. Oh, gee, you guys. Yeah, we were dancing on your grave. That's exactly right. When we forced them out of their so-called talk format in those glory final days when they had Miss Alice. I don't think Alice was even there anymore, was she?
No.
Alice Rantel? She was already on the light bulb, waiting for her friends to drag her ass out of the closet. They had such notables as Shirley Tweeters, a.k.a. What's her other phony psychic name?
You got me.
I don't know.
I never listened to that
Gypsy Rose Lee, whatever it was. It was pretty weak. It was pretty weak, Dennis, okay? W Snooze, we did the cruise, and you lose. Anyway, here's the Barbie Benton is our... We got a little bonus for you today. We got a package deal for you today.
Try to do that a little bit here and there as they come in.
Barbie Benton, and also Aaliyah. How's Aaliyah doing? Still dead?
Well, more like...
Oh. Barbie Benton, January 28th, 1950, was born in Sacramento, California. Everybody knows Barbie Benton. She's going to be an old bag now. That makes her 50... Huh?
She's old.
54. Sure. Anyway, sometimes credited as Barbara Benton.
Okay.
Here's her filmography that goes on for about 75 pages. I'm not going to waste your time. And the wall came tumbling down, 84. 84, boy, that's a long time ago. I guess we haven't seen her lately.
No.
Hospital Massacre, Death Stalker, For the Love of It, Sugar Time. Oh, it was a TV series on Max. I don't remember that. Do you?
No.
Remember Sugar Time by the McGuire sisters? Remember Phyllis McGuire, who was girlfriends of Sam Giancana?
No.
Sam Giancana, the mobster from Chicago.
Oh, I remember him, not his
who was
mom.
also doing Judith Exner Campbell, who was also doing JFK. Wow. Everybody's doing everybody.
Connections.
The third girl from the left, the Great American Beauty Contest. Mir hat es immer Spaß gemacht. Oh, I love, even though I can't do it right because I don't know no German, although a few of the words are like Yiddish. A.K.A. Wie kommt ein so reisendes Märchen zu diesem? Ooh, you just say it and the hair on the back of your neck like curls, you know? Your blood curdles just to hear German. Oh, Uomo del Colpo Perfetto. L'uomo del Colpo Perfetto. I love those, too. That's my real favorite. A.K.A. Diamante que Scotano. A.K.A. Hombre del Golpe Perfecto in Spain.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Nothing. It just sounds like you're saying something dirty.
No, it's Hot Diamonds in Cold Blood.
Oh, okay.
Hombre del Golpe. Well, I don't know.
It sounded like you were saying the
Don't say it!
All right.
Don't do it. Joyce is monitoring right now, you crazy lunatic, you man with a death wish. So Barbie Benton's on there, and I'm delighted that she's multilingual.
And Aaliyah's nipple as a bonus.
She's all over the place. See, we're starting right now trying to, potty train the audience because on Monday we go back to 10 a.m. I'm sure that there are people still straggling in after the New Year. A lot of people come back a day or two late, 3 days late, whenever the hell they feel like it. And as a result, maybe they haven't heard the news that Stern's last show on QMLV tomorrow. I have nothing to do with that, by the way, and nor did any more than I had anything to do with him coming on in the first place. It is what it is, you know? But I guess they decided it was time to get Sirius or something like that. And Hank, the humper, is going to be doing Monday morning. Oh, and the really good news is I think I got these losers finally convinced that having a sporting news radio lead-in for Hank. Hank's going to do 7 to 10 because he's fat and old like me. And he sure as hell doesn't get up 4:30 in the morning to do 6 to 10. So 5 to 7, we don't. That'd be another good poll.
There you go.
Man! No, we got today's poll. But that would be a good one. But we won't do it. We left the Beast off yesterday, which we want to apologize for that. Not a big apology, but mildly, you know. Right? He should have been on there.
He should have been.
He sure as hell beats Joe Zagacki, although that is he's his protege, wouldn't you say?
I love eating nuts.
That's his mentor. His idol is Joe Zagacki. That should tell you a lot about the Beast. Anyway, so that starts on Monday. 5 to 7 a.m. we'll have somebody leading into Hank. I have no idea. Like a living live person, not sporting news radio, which would be really humiliating, embarrassing, and degrading. And then 2 to 4, we still don't know. It looks like Defoe. And then Mad Dog 4 to 7. In fact, when I say it looks like Defoe, here's the poll result from yesterday. We asked who should be doing 2 to 4 on QM starting Monday when Mad Dog goes to 4 to 7. See, my druthers would be Mad Dog 2 to 6.
Right.
And I don't care what anybody says. If they paid him the right amount of money, he would do 2 to 6 because he's already coming out at 2 anyway. He can do all his construction businesses before 2, right? Like before 1 o'clock. Right?
Right.
You bet your sweet ass that would be the way to do it. Instead of like kind of giving away 2 to 4 where he's had those big numbers. That's not a good idea. But then again, is anything that we do a good idea? Not usually. Who should do 2 to 4, we asked, and we had almost 1,400 votes. A pretty good response. Jeff DeFlores, 379. A lot of people out there love corn, especially buttered and barbecued, man. Jeff DeFlores, 379, because of a rather weak group of competitors. Now, Curtis Stevenson's pretty good, but then again, he's a little wet behind the ears. He had 217, a very strong second. Nice going, Curtis. You're coming along, baby. Kim Bokamper had a lot of a lot of votes, 208, which seemed to come out of nowhere. That seemed to be I don't know what that was all about. Maybe the people at University Dodge, maybe even the cow voted a few times. You think?
I don't think.
Because he wasn't doing all that well during the show, and then all of a sudden, right at the ass end of the show, just zooming, here come all those kind of like votes from Ohio, you know? Mo Howard David was 4th, 135. They still remember Mo, which is why he didn't get a lot of votes. The Big O, 126.
Rock solid.
Wow. Geldy, 93. Way down the list. Way down there, Geldy. You're out. Warren the Crow Cromartie, 74. Geldy barely beat him out. Joe Zagacki, 55, Lenny Martez, 31, and Troy Stratford, 19. Reason Troy's in last place is because most people haven't heard Troy on the air. Would you agree with that?
I would.
He's had very limited exposure on the air.
Those spots is all.
Yeah. No, he's also been here and there on the weekend every once in a while. Places when you wouldn't be listening, like sports stuff.
Right.
But he's good on the air, and he's articulate, and he knows what he's talking about. He once wore a jockstrap for a couple of minutes, playing for the Dolphins for about 2-3 games.
Then
he was there for a while. How long would you say he was there, Josh? You don't know. That's before your time.
I remember Troy.
Remember Troy?
Yeah.
Number 23?
That's right.
Dolphin running back? What number was Mark Higgs? 22, right?
Yeah, he returned kicks, too, I think, for a little bit.
Troy?
Yeah, didn't he?
Troy Vincent.
Troy!
Remember Troy Vincent?
I do.
He's perpetually injured, I think, Troy Vincent, isn't he?
He's on the Bills now.
How's Louis Oliver doing? What's he doing these days? ADL slams Imus for thieving slur. That poor Imus, man, he's got problems. You know what? You know what his biggest problem is?
That he's boring?
That show, yeah.
Imus is so boring.
What's better than a live radio show every morning on TV? Well, just about anything. But that hasn't stopped MSNBC from teaming up with radio's original bad boy, who now looks like a nasty old lady.
Listen, Bernie.
Imus.
Tell that intern this coffee sucks.
Yes, every morning, see Imus listen to a tape of other people's comedy bits. Live on the air.
I need a hammer to bite into this muffin. Somebody give me a fresh one, please. Thank you.
See his wild behind-the-scenes antics.
Hey, listen to me, stupid. I am the Ivan. You are the walrus. Cuckoo could chew. Now get me some fresh coffee or you're fired.
Imus. He's irreverent.
So, what's the deal with the Pope?
He's topical.
So, what's the deal with this Watergate race?
He's incoherent.
I'll tell you what, that's, is it double repentance? What the hell is that? I don't know.
He's
Imus and he's boring.
And he's only on MSNBC, a cable channel nobody watches, and a bunch of AM radio stations nobody listens to.
And when somebody gets some fresh jingle,
it's Imus.
As reported by John Mainelli in the New York Daily News, the Anti-Defamation League is complaining that Don Imus used the term thieving Jews on the air last month.
Oi!
Imus says he returned the ADL's letter with an unspecified 2-word reply. I think the first word began with an F. Yeah. ADL Chief Abraham, let me try it again. ADL Chief Abraham Foxman said he was deeply troubled that Imus referred to the publishers of the Mary and Carol Higgins Clark holiday thriller The Christmas Thief as thieving Jews. See, he's always got this running battle with publishing companies because he's always trying to peddle his own books and his wife's books and stuff like that, and his brother Fred and all this other crap. Then he made matters worse by reportedly saying, I apologize, I realize that's redundant, thieving Jews.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice going, Imus. Leave me alone, Jesus God, Imus said yesterday on his radio show, which is also simulcast on cable's MSNBC. If you think he's bad listening, do wait till you see him. Go after people who are actually doing something wrong, he said. I wrote a 2-word response across the face of the letter and sent it back to them, Imus told listeners yesterday without repeating the 2 words, the first one of which we're all sure began with an F and the second one with a Y, as in you. No, a Y, O-U, F-U. Imus didn't return calls, and ADL spokesman said the organization won't have any further comments until it actually receives Imus's reply. I can already tell him what it was. It began with an F. In his complaint, Foxman told Imus, we realize that your show often uses humor to debunk stereotypes by poking fun at them, and we do have a sense of humor. Yet we fielded dozens of emails, letters, and calls since the program aired expressing anger and outrage, and we don't think the reaction was unjustified. Well, whatever. Sounds kind of like vague and ambiguous to me, like they're contradicting themselves. On the one hand, we got a great sense of humor, we know that you poke fun, and then on the other hand, the reaction was justified. Well, whatever you say. You know, it's nothing worse than a bunch of uptight ethnics, right?
Right.
Whatever ethnic group it might be. I just don't cotton any of that. Anyway, here's our poll today. This one we can get some real heavy duty. And you realize it's almost 11 o'clock already. So I think we're in good training now. I think we got potty trained pretty well. We're kind of like eased into this going back to 10 to 2 deal. Because today Howard went all the way to 10:25. Thank you, Howie. By the way, thanks for going all the way to almost 10:25. This after announcing he was going to get off at 10 every day, which I think the closest that he did was like 10:15, wouldn't you say?
Right.
But we'll take it. We'll take whatever, like, a little extra benefit we can today and tomorrow. And then, of course, Monday it's back to the mill to the grindstone. What do you think was the best movie of 2004? Now, the reason I'm taking that poll, it's not original at all, but everybody and their brother does this at the end of a year or the beginning of the next year. There's the 6th Annual Film Critics Poll. There's the, let's see. Now, which poll is this? It's in the Herald, but you know they didn't do it. It's from the San Jose Mercury News. The Herald doesn't do anything original. I really don't know who did this. But at any rate, it's a national poll. The best movies of 2004, and also we got the worst ones, which we'll do tomorrow. You got that? I probably shouldn't have said that. How's Jenna Jameson doing, by the way? Got a pretty good response for that. But wait till you see the response we get for Barbara Benton and Aaliyah. We're going to bring her back. What do you think was the best movie of 2004? Now, here's the short list that I've got. Okay? In fact, let me change the poll. Poll switch.
Okay.
Punch that button. Boy, what a feeling of power to be able to do this now, you know? Be able to just to click that thing on there. Did you do that while I was on vacation? You clicked it? Oh, man.
It's exciting.
Woo! Well, I'm going to vote on here while you're thinking about it, okay? Where is it? Oh, there it is. And the reason I'm voting very easily because I only saw one of these.
Okay.
Well, so that's the only one I can vote for,
I'm very torn
right?
because there's different categories.
No, we're not doing categories. We're not doing. I mean, this isn't like going to be in the Guinness Book of Records. Or it's not going to be on the front page of the New York Times. It's just for fun to kill like 3 hours and 5 minutes, whatever. You know, you always like take very simple things and like to analyze and just to hell with it. Screw it. Just make it simple, like most of the people out there. Simple is the operative word. Simple. That's what America's all about. Take a look at your president. Who do you think? What was the best movie of 2004? Here's my list so far, and again, this is based on some of these other lists, and there's a lot more that can be on here, and we'll be more than delighted to put them on if it was 2004. Gone with the Wind will not qualify. Just missed the cut. $1 Million Baby, Sideways, Closer. Is that Closer or Closer?
I think it's Closer, but I'm not sure.
Is it Closer?
I think it's Closer.
I think you're getting closer.
I don't know.
Well, it's one of those words that can be pronounced either way, and since I didn't see it, and I have no idea what it's all about. I mean, if it was about a relief pitcher in baseball, it would be Closer, right?
Cluster.
Right. Garden State, which, of course, that track is closed now and has been for a few years. Collateral, House of Flying Daggers, Fahrenheit 9/11. That was my vote because I saw it about 6 times, and it was great. Polar Express, Kinsey, Born Supremacy. Oh, I take that back. I did see Born Supremacy. That was good, too. Riding Giants, Spider-Man 2, Shrek 2, The Passion of the Christ, The Incredibles, Team America, Before Sunset, Dogville, and Kill Bill Volume 2. That's our short list, okay?
Okay.
It's on there already. You can vote on that or you can call in something else. Man, I got a lot of fish to fry here today. I got piles. But business first, right? Business always comes first on this show and on this station. How's Screw-Ann doing? I'll tell you one thing. When Screw-Ann was here, that log was just jammed with spots. Am I right? We didn't have all these candy-ass 2-minute breaks.
It was always like this during this.
Get out of here. You're supposed to lie, you know?
Oh,
supposed to put some pressure on these bastards. When Screw-Ann was around, man, we didn't have these post-holiday doldrum logs where, like, basically we're just burning the transmitter for free, folks. We had spots up the old ass when old Screw-Ann was here. And guess who told me that
Roy!
she did, too? 10:57 at 560 WQAM. Hey, resolve yourself to a better night's sleep in 2005 by calling 1-800-MATTRESS right now. Nothing's got a bigger impact on the way you feel every day than getting a great night's sleep. And you can get one tonight and for years to come with a great mattress from Dollar Mattress. All you have to do is sit there on your fat, lazy, pimply ass and call 1-800-MATTRESS. You can call them right now. If your mattress is more than 10 years old or maybe it's getting saggy and lumpy and bumpy and uncomfortable, guess what? Time for a new one. Choose from a complete line of the top names in the business: Sealy, Serta, Simmons, King Coil, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns, and Foster Hewitt. Dollar Mattress takes same-day orders all day long from Kendall to Stewart, from Palm Beach to Fort Myers, and like they've been doing for a very long time, you still get to pick the date and 2-hour delivery window when you want that mattress delivered, and they show up 99.7% of the time, exactly on time. Dollar Mattress, they won the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch Award for Excellence, and I've been using them for years. Anytime a mattress wears out, these are the people you want to call instead of wasting all your time, money, and gas schlepping from bedding to the department store, getting ripped off and exasperated and frustrated. Pick up that phone and call them today. They'll be knocking on that door in no time at all. You can check them on the web at mattress.com or make that easy call, 1-800-MATTRESS. 1-800-MATTRES.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Get and stick it.
Amazing grace, I love you so. Tuesday nights on CBS, the guys break down, the women nag until they find the flag. Amazing grace, I love you so, but the stress is too much to take. They fight and scream at each roadblock as they battle the clock. Amazing grace, I love you so. I can't take my eyes off of you. But next year, please, why don't you try to have at least one king die?
Okay, Fahrenheit 9/11 is kicking ass, baby. That was my vote. You didn't vote for that?
I voted for Team America, just to be contrary.
Oh, no.
It's very funny. You'd love it.
Fahrenheit 9/11/27. But I guess I can go and probably get that on DVD right now, can I? When was that out?
I don't know if it's out yet.
It'll be out.
I don't think it's out just yet.
I can wait. Shrek 6, Shrek 2, Passion of the Christ 5, Passion of the Christ. Spider-Man 2, 4, Team America's got 3, and 1 is George's. Kill Bill Volume 2, 2. What does Josh vote for?
Well, he can't vote, but if he could.
What would you vote for? Don't start getting picky with this technical crap again. I'll put you back on Echo again.
I would go for Fahrenheit, probably.
There you go. The Incredibles appear. Born Supremacy, it's a good movie, too. See, I got to be honest with you. I'll admit it right now. I'll come clean. I like Matt Damon. I mean, you're not supposed to admit that, even if you're a faggot.
I don't have a problem with him.
What?
Matt Damon.
I mean, I just like him. He's just, although there are certain facial expressions that he makes where he's like, where his mouth is too like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There are people that do that. Like they're okay looking unless they make a certain expression.
Yeah, where he's got like 75 teeth and his lips are like expanded. Like, well, I don't want to suggest what he might have been doing, but you know what I'm saying? Here's a fax from Rick, who's getting really chronic. He says, don't want to be a chronic, but I'm being it anyway. Most of these aid agencies just put all the donations into one pot. Whatever's left over, they keep for use in other things, even if you want your whole donation to go to a certain area. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like the United Way, which I despise and always have and always will. I mean, they're just sending your money to them is like just flushing it down the toilet. Now, remember after 9/11, we were involved in a relief aid organization that we checked out pretty thoroughly, and we found out that every dime was going where it was supposed to be going. Remember that?
Right, the fireman.
The firefighter thing, right. As opposed to some of these generic ones where like 90% of it goes into somebody's pocket and for bureaucratic. That's not relief aid. That's just caca, It's just somebody making money exploiting other people's tragedies. What do we got? Let's see. The Aviator. Now, wait a minute. Isn't that, though, 2005?
No, it's already out. Been out.
Oh, my God. Carolyn, our old friend Carolyn, says, contrary to your feelings, Leonardo is the best actor. I don't think I'm going to be well. Leonardo is the best actor of his generation. Leo DiCaprio. I've seen the previews of that, and I'm going to tell you something. I just sit there and laugh. I mean, when I think of Howard Hughes, I think of Leo DiCaprio, don't you?
No. I never met Howard Hughes.
My God. Yeah, but you've seen flicks about Howard Hughes.
I've seen footage of him.
Right. The Spruce Goose.
Saw that, too.
Although Leo did say that. You can't pass up a good goose, even a bad one. So let's get that on there, The Aviator. It says it's fabulous. Well, it is getting good reviews, but if he's the best actor of his generation, then that's a pretty sad commentary. Now, who would you put in there like in the same generation, like Ethan Hawke, for example? Sure. Oh, and by the way, Ethan Hawke is in one of the... Wasn't Before Sunset Ethan Hawke?
I never saw it Before Sunset.
Yeah, it is. Now, who would you say is the better actor, Leo DiCaprio? I'm not talking about,
No contest.
Yeah, Ethan Old Hawke is 80,000, and I think Ethan Hawke's like about 35, and Leo's like 30, even though he still looks about 10. But anyway, Carolyn, it's obvious you are getting a little old, just like me, and it starts affecting our brain. Elmer says, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It says, and Dogville came out in 2003. Well, it may have, but it's on this list here, and it's,
Yeah, who cares?
Then it must have slopped over into 2004, okay? Right?
Right, it ain't going to get any votes anyway.
I heard it was a dog. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. Your vote for best movie of 2004. Line 9's got a good one, I'll bet. QAM, hello.
Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, we've got that somehow.
What is it?
We should stick that on there.
Go ahead.
Hey,
WQAM. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you, DVD, Fahrenheit 9/11 is out on DVD. I rented it the other day on Netflix.
Oh, I've had that for months. I'm not talking about Fahrenheit 9/11. I was talking about
Team America.
Team America.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The other thing is, have you guys talked about the halftime show at the Orange Bowl?
You mean the story about how Ashley Simpson was booed almost off the stage?
Yes.
Yeah, we have, but I got another story on it. In fact, I'll do it right now.
Okay. The last thing is, Neil, have you guys done any polls on the best song, like the Love Boat and like Hawaii 5-0 and that sort of thing?
Yeah, but you know something? I think we need to do that again. I'm glad you mentioned that. I love that. The best theme song, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love you, Neil. Go Cobra.
Thanks a lot, pal.
George.
See,
Bye.
now that we got my new DVD dens here that I put a lot of money on for, although I am getting reimbursed. That was a good idea on your part. George said, just bleed him dry, man. Isn't that what you said?
I said squeeze them.
Yeah, squeeze them till they bleed. Ashley Simpson, we did have spy reports, including from Josh right there. Now, you told us about it, right?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah. It made the New York Post. Ashley Simpson's Orange Bowl halftime performance was a lemon. According to the 72,000-plus Miami crowd, the 20-year-old singer received a discernible chorus of boos following a performance of her song, La La. You make me want to scream, she sang before the audience jeered. Yeah, they were probably thinking the same thing. You make me want to scream, too. Who are you kidding, bitch? Simpson was among a trio of halftime performers Tuesday night in a game that saw... Oh, as a matter of fact, George, while you were on vacation that one week and I was taking a lot of crap from Beast and Josh about Avril Lavigne, they were comparing her to Ashley Simpson.
Okay.
Musically?
I'm sorry.
That is about
I disagree, young man.
It's
that
pop music,
is
man.
so outrageous.
Music, Avril has her own music.
Right.
Then
I mean, if you don't like her music, that's fine, but at least she's got
a good voice.
some, yeah.
She portrays herself as something she's not.
Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. There you go again. You just, the Beast must have done something with Josh there while you were gone. Well, Clarence was away.
There's an image.
Simpson was among a trio of halftime performers Tuesday night in the game that saw, we know Southern Cal kicked ass. The camera cut away from her face as the booing began. Well, if they were smart, they'd cut away from her face right in the beginning. The negative vocal reaction came months after her performance on NBC's Saturday Night Live when she revealed she used background vocal tracks. The mishap was later attributed to acid reflux. Oh, my God. Give me a break. Acid reflux, my acid. However, the Orange Bowl crowd did have a reason to cheer. The Walt Disney Company gave a theme park ticket to every fan. Wasn't that darn sweet of them? The giveaway, a promotion that could cost as much as $4.3 million if all the tickets are used, is in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Disneyland Park in California.
Hey,
what does that mean? Now, what does that mean? Was the ticket good for Disneyland and Disney World or just Disneyland? Because I don't think most of the people at the Orange Bowl, although there was Southern Cal people were there, but I don't think most of the ones from Florida are going to be schlepping all the way out to California to go to Disneyland.
No.
The second season of Simpsons' unscripted MTV reality show, The Ashley Simpson Show, premieres January 26th. Be sure and mark it down so you'll be sick, not be sure you bust your TV on the 25th. And will capture the SNL appearance and preparation for her first nationwide tour, which begins February 18 at Los Angeles' Universal Amphitheater. Oh, won't that be great? Maybe she'll get booed off the stage there, too. She couldn't sing if you stuck an Uzi up her ass, okay?
I saw the clip. Talk about flat, off-key, caterwauling.
Give me. I saw it for like 15 seconds, because obviously I watched the game, or at least parts of the game, and I saw that for just a few seconds, and I said to myself, holy crap, man, this is garbage. In fact, let's bring back Janet again. Even Justin Tinkerbell and Janet would be a big improvement on that. Get everybody whipped up into a frenzy. 5, 6, the more you think about that, the more you want to shake your head and say, how is it possible that a country that's been around for like 1779, 19, for like over 200 years, right?
Right.
How is it possible to be so juvenile, so embarrassing, so uptight, so puritanical, so everything that supposedly we want to get away from? How is that possible?
Christians.
Goyim? Is that what it is? Goyim? Is that what you're trying to say? Goyim and Farbissen right-wing Jews? Is that what you're trying to say? Religious fanatics, lunatics, crazy people like the ones that blew up the World Trade Center and the Pentagon on 9/11? Crazy religious people? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, those are the ones.
Okay. How's that poll coming? I got news for you, man. I got 4 years to go on this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to eradicate religion from the face of the globe. Anybody believe it?
No.
No, but I'm going to do my best.
I'll go get the squeegee.
Hey, listen, I've been on for 75 years, and I've gotten to about 4 people. I finally saved their brain, so they realize that all this Stop buying into the crap, will you please, and the fairy tales. Once you're dead, you're dead. There ain't no St. Peter up there waiting at the pearly gates. You're not going to meet your maker. You're not even going to meet Marvin Maker at Monticello Raceway, okay? Forget about it. Enjoy it now, because once you're dead, that's it. There ain't no cockroaches coming back. There ain't no rabbits coming back. There ain't no nothing. That's it. Once you're dead, that's it. In the box, dust to dust, asses to asses, ass to ass, like in Requiem. What?
Huh?
Wasn't that ass to
rectum
scene? That was probably the most popular with our crowd. There were so many good scenes in that.
Yeah, there were.
What do you think was the best movie of 2004? Is our poll question. Fahrenheit 9/11/51. Boy, there ain't nobody even close to that. That's our great liberal Michael Moore-loving crowd, and let's say hallelujah to them. And Barbara Boxer. Shrek 2, 9. Passion of the Christ, 6. Wow, that's depressing. Kill Bill Volume 2, 5. Team America, 5. Spider-Man Tooth has got 5. The Incredibles, 4. Born Supremacy, 3. And after that, it's like, although Before Sunset's got 2, with Ethan Hawke.
Never saw it.
Well, get with it.
What's it about?
Isn't Before Sunset, isn't that the one, there's a sequel to the movie made where he met the girl in France? They were both on vacation.
Oh, with the French girl with Julie Delpy
right.
or something like that?
I think this is the sequel to that. Right, and they did it in the park on the grass. They did it on the lawn, and then they were going to meet again someday. And, of course, we assumed they never would meet again, but guess what? They meet again. I guess. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I'll have to watch the first one.
In fact, and one of the, let me tell you right now, speaking of Ethan Hawke fans, not that he's going to make any extra money, the Village Voice, the 6th Annual Film Critics Poll of 2004, guess what their number 1 movie is?
Before Sunset?
Right. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is their number 2. Did we get that on there, by the way?
We did.
Yeah. Dogville, 3. Sideways, 4. Goodbye, Dragon Inn, 5. Remember that song, Goodbye, Dragon Inn?
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Dum-dum-dum-dum. He had 2 mistresses, he's dum-dum-dum-dum. He made $1 zillion from stun gun gun gun. Did business with the mob, so dum-dum-dum-dum. 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 Won't work for George Bush, he's done. Bernie's a bum.
I just realized this ACN disc I got yesterday, it's dated January 3rd and 10th, and almost every cut on here I see is a Christmas thing. I mean, that one's okay, even though it's a Little Drummer Boy. It's okay.
Little dumber boy.
But why are they doing that like Christmas? I hate to break the news to you guys, ACM, but Christmas is like December 25th. Oh, by January 3rd and 10th, it's a little bit on the stale side, like last year's matzo brie. You know? Get rid of it. Mark says in a fax that he obviously typed out very hastily because he's pissed off and fired up. He's really foaming at the mouth about Ashley Simpson, talentless bitch. He says, I was at the Orange Bowl, and I can't believe this stupid bitch is still trying to sing. Not only is she dumb, but has a nose uglier than my hairy hole. Well, there's a letter in there, but I can't say that letter, eh? So that's the way it goes, Mark. I just don't understand it. I don't begrudge anybody anything, anybody. But when there are people who obviously don't look good, they have no talent, and all of a sudden they're like big celebrities, like William Hung, for example. There's another one. He's ugly. He can't sing. He's an idiot. He comes across as a real doofus.
That's a novelty act.
Is that what it is?
Exactly what it is.
Get out of here.
Retarded. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, kind of like all the people Stern parades around, all the gimps and wimps and midgets and
even
stuff
Gilbert
like that.
had a great
I just
album.
had a great idea for Howard's final show tomorrow because he likes putting talentless, goofy midgets on. How about Matty Bell? Wouldn't that be great? He could do one of his Matty the Mime routines on the radio.
Tiny Mime.
Yeah, Senior Wenches. 5670560, best movie of 2004, pound 560 on a Verizon and Singular Wireless line. I'm glad, Carolyn, I love you dearly, but when you tell me that Leonardo DiCaprio is the greatest actor of his generation, I really at that point have to crawl around on the floor puking my guts out and doing like duty in my pants. I just can't believe you said that.
Duty. She said it 4 times too. I wonder why.
Well, I guess she's got a thing for Leo,
Yeah, I know what it is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Where's all that Titanic stuff? Now, there's one I know we can't play. Oh, God. This is
Hi,
Nico.
I'm your 15-year-old host, Jenny, and this is Titanic Talk, where me and my friend Kimberly talk on the radio about our favorite movie, Titanic. And Leo. I love you, Leo. Yeah, we talk about the most beautiful thing in Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio. I love you, Leo. I know. I love Leo, too. Well, today's topic is the Titanic. I saw it Saturday for the 14th time, and I cried.
I've seen it 17 times, and I cried every time.
I wanted Leo to live this time. I wish my boyfriend was more like Leo.
I wish my boyfriend was Leo.
Oh, my God. Look at the clock. Titanic starts at the mall in 15 minutes. Let's hurry.
Hold on, Leo. We're coming.
Okay, thanks for listening. Tune in next time on Titanic Talk, when our topic will be Leo.
You rock, Leo.
Guess who's ripping an ass out of Alberto Jose Jimenez Gonzales?
Line of reasoning you
Joe
guys
Biden.
are using, and you're going to put my
Get him,
troops,
Joe.
my former troops, in jeopardy. This is about the safety and security of American forces.
Oh, this is great.
And he says in here, what you're doing is putting that in jeopardy. You have the former head of JAG, the top lawyer in the United States military, saying, hey, man, this is way beyond the interrogation techniques you're signing off. Way beyond what the manual, the military manual for guidance of how to deal with prisoners says. And so the point I'm trying to make here, and I will come back with questions. If I have any time, I will. Well, I don't have any time. This is important stuff because there was a fundamental disagreement within the administration. And based on the record, it seems to me, although it may not be totally, it may not be dispositive, your judgment was not as good as the judgment of the Secretary of State. Your judgment was not as good or as sound as the chief lawyer from the JAG. Your judgment was not as sound. And the question I want to debate about is the judgment.
There you go, the judgment. Judgment Day's coming, Alberto Jose Jimenez Gonzales, you torturing bastard, you lunatic, you crazy person. He makes John Ashcroft seem, like I said the other day, like a Sunday school kid.
Oh, okay.
He makes him seem benign. I was going to say preacher, but then that's a bad choice. You'll love this story because anything that happens bad at Walmart you love. You have this sadistic streak about Walmart, and then again, so do most of the rest of us. Fort Lauderdale. A Miami woman was found guilty yesterday of poisoning her boss by putting rat poison into a soda can. Sounds like something from Passions. How's Liz doing, by the way? Famisha Foster. What kind of a name is that, Famisha? Famisha? Famisha Foster, 37, was caught on a hidden camera dropping the toxic mix into Mark Caruso's drink in 2000. The pair were co-workers at a Walmart store in Pembroke Pines. She said she was only trying to force Caruso to go home sick, that she had recently discovered they knew she had written checks from his account. Famisha. Shame on you, Famisha. Caruso was taken to an emergency room where he was treated and released. Foster's sentencing is scheduled for January 20. She faces up to 30 years in prison on the jury conviction. In May, a state appeals court overturned Foster's previous conviction because she was charged with attempted poisoning, which was not a specific crime under Florida law. How could attempted poisoning not be a specific crime under Florida law? What kind of communist bunch of crap is that?
Florida.
Oh, brother. Better get your fat-ass governor. If he ever comes back from grandstanding over there in tsunami land, better get him back. And say, hey, what's this all about? And then, of course, he'll give you a few Hail Marys. He's a good Catholic boy now that his wife converted him. She gave him good old-time religion. Let's see. Yes, I was right. Before Sunset, from Bill in Fort Lauderdale, who's getting very good faxes the last 2 days. Before Sunset is the sequel to Before Sunrise 95, which is the one, like I told you, where Ethan Hawke and this young girl, they meet in Paris, whatever. They're both on vacation, traveling alone, and they both kind of hook up together, and they're like wandering around and whatever. And they do their thing on the lawn, and she leaves or he leaves on the train, and they exchange numbers, and one of these days they're going to... And then they get together again in Sunset. See Before Sunrise, Before Sunset? See that?
I get it. All right.
Sunrise, Sunset. Sounds like kind of a Jew thing to me. Oh, sorry. Bill says, I work in Fort Lauderdale but live in Miami down the street from that double-murdering bastard. He couldn't mean OJ, is it? How come nobody told us whether the stadium is really 30 miles from Kendall?
Bill's about to.
Oh. Wow, it is. Yesterday on the turnpike, as I passed the stadium formerly known as Joe Robbie, I hit the trip meter in my car. Upon rolling up in front of OJ's house, it read 28.7 miles, which is very close to...
About 30, man.
So I apologize to whoever I was ripping an ass for reading that,
Me.
What?
I
No,
said
you didn't say that. It was in some article that I read.
It was in some article, but I was confirming it. I said, because Kendall's a big area. I said parts of it might be 30 miles away.
You said it might be.
It might
You
be.
said it might be. It could be. And now we know it is. Harry Carey would say that, too, but, of course, he's still dead. He's still fall down dead. He used to be fall down drunk. Now Harry's fall down dead. What a shame, man. He was a mean drunk, but when he was sober, during those lucid moments he had, he was fun. He was great. Plus, of course, his work was impeccable. He was sensational, as opposed to these boring cookie-cutter guys. You know, Barry Jackass wrote a column praising the broadcast duo that did the Orange Bowl game Tuesday night. Who the hell did that? Greasy? Who did the play-by-play? Nestler? Mark Nestler, is that his name? Brad Nestler.
I don't know. I was there.
Brad Nestler. He is so bad, so lame. He got booted off the NBA telecast, and then they stick him in there because Keith Jackson won't travel. You know, Keith Jackson could be 700 years old. I know he did the Rose Bowl, but anybody in their right mind would rather hear Keith Jackson, even if he did it while watching it on TV, than hear Brad Nestler. You are weak, baby. Very, very bad. And Barry Jackass writes this column Tuesday morning. Oh, it's the right pair. They deserve to do this game. Yeah, right. You are such a suck-up, man. Probably Bob Greasy, or maybe Brian Greasy bought him a drink sometime during the soda pop. Certainly nothing alcoholic for a little Barry. That bologna and cheese don't go down too good with martinis, with green lizards. You know what I'm saying? Barry, you little simpleton man, you idiot. Although, have a nice chat with Greg. 26 past 11 at 560 WQAM.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Beware of exploding balls.
I hope we can play this. I'm not really sure. Beware.
Ain't no cut across the roof if his shoes don't have no weights.
You think we can play this?
Give it a shot.
Ain't he girls who want him just to mean that he is gay? He likes to wear a dress and he looks like a light bulb head. His name is Leo and he likes to mesmerize. Young girls don't realize that Leo is a fad.
Yay.
Leo gets Leo and he hates it so bad. Leo makes Prince Lower look like a big macho man. Leo gets the movie roles where he's the leading man. Some girls like Leo, they don't know Leo's a fad.
See, I was getting a little nervous there, but when he said back, I was very pleased when he said that word, you know?
Yeah, back.
Back.
Baby got back.
Well, the reason I played that is because Carolyn now has started this thing. Don't apologize for starting it. I'm so glad that you did. She said, I'm so sorry I started this. No, be glad. We need a little something to spice it up. You know,
Right.
Picking on Leo is a lot of fun. Why not? It says, watch Marvin's poem, Who's Eating Gilbert Grape? Oh, maybe Leo's eating Gilbert's grapes. And then this boy's life. It says, forget Titanic. By the way, I do not have a crush on him. Right, yeah, right. We believe you, Carolyn, don't we?
No, we've seen all his movies.
She wants to, like, fondle him and squeeze him and put him on her knee and we'll do whatever else and check out and see if there's anything really there, which he's an old smoothie or a young smoothie is what I'm hearing. Leo. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. I'll tell you who still looks pretty damn good and is a fine actor and just a wonderful all-around guy and got enough intelligence to live in France with his family and not in the USA, and that's my good buddy Johnny Depp.
He's in that Gilbert Grape movie for what it's worth.
Is he? With Leo DiCaprio? I bet you Leo was chasing him around big time. Because Johnny Depp, one thing about him, he still sure is pretty, I'll tell you that. He's a pretty man. Even George would agree with that.
He's got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, no, he is. He's pretty. He's not handsome. He's not cute. He's pretty, you know. See, there is a difference. I realize it's all faggery to you, but nevertheless, just like with the chicks, it's the same thing. There are girls who are like Britney, and then they're like cute. Like Avril Lavigne is cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
She isn't pretty.
She's cute.
She's cute, right. See the difference?
I do.
And Johnny Depp is pretty. Nevertheless. Fahrenheit pretty good, too, by the way. And what was that other movie I told you to watch where he plays the author? Oh, yeah, that's really a freaky movie. That's good. What the hell is that thing called? Secret. You saw that, right?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No. Didn't.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Either.
No, you should.
I want to.
It's not like spectacular. It's not Fargo. It's not, but it's pretty good.
He always shows up for work, Johnny. His movies are usually okay.
And then, of course, like Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever that was, which I won't watch, but everybody said, hey, the movie sucked, but he was great.
That's
well,
it.
when a movie sucks and you can say somebody who was in it, who was the lead actor, was great, he must have been pretty damn good.
He was.
He was even good in Friday the 13th when he hit the ceiling.
With what?
Blood.
Mother.
Oh, boy. See, I thought that memo got circulated.
Which one?
The one that said cut the crap. Okay, now, what do you think was the best movie of 2004? Fahrenheit 9/11 is just off to the races. Michael Moore is gone. Oh! Yeah, look at that. 77 votes. See, and those people who saw it, they will appreciate. Actually, it was in Bowling for Columbine. No, it was. See, I get them confused now because I've watched them both so many times.
Right.
This was the one where that's right. This is the one where Al Gore was sitting up there, and they had it in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
Well, I get so damn confused with those two. It's like one movie to me now. But, and of course, we're not one member of the Senate, not anybody, not even Ted Kennedy, certainly not John Kerry or John Edwards, and not Russ Feingold, not anybody, not even Joe Biden. How do you like that? He was Biden his time, I guess.
Biden his tongue.
Not one of them, not one of them had the balls to get up there and join the Black Caucus, the House, Maxine Waters and John Conyers and that gang. And all they had to do was just, and it was a done deal, baby. There was the fix was in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't accept the results of that freaking election in 2000, because if they wouldn't have accepted that result, we wouldn't have this again in 2004, and we wouldn't have all these dead people over there in Iraq. I'll tell you that right now. Almost 1,400 dead Americans, and of course 10,000 injured, some whose lives have been totally destroyed, thousands of them, and not to mention the countless thousands of Iraqis that we don't bother counting because they're animals anyway. That's why we're there to liberate them.
Right, 100,000, 120, 130.
Yeah, we don't know how many, and of course a tremendous number of them children, women, obviously evildoers.
Well, they shouldn't have attacked us.
That's right, evildoers that we better eliminate right now. It's called emancipation by elimination, by decapitation, by decapriotation. Speaking of Leo. Fahrenheit 9/11's got 81, and then it's Spider-Man 2 has got 16. Passion of the Christ 14 and Shrek 2 14. Same movie. Both fairy tales. Team America 12, The Incredibles 8, Kill Bill Volume 2 7. Is that worth seeing? Either one of them?
Not for you, no.
What do you mean by that?
They're martial arts movies, mostly, and Quentin Tarantino.
Martial arts movies?
Listen,
Chuck Norris type movies?
You don't like
Bruce
Quentin
Lee type
Tarantino
movies?
Trust me.
Oh, no. What kind of crap is that? Born Supremacy 6, that's a good movie. And I do like Matt Damon. I actually came out of the closet on that today. I like him. I would do him. Harold and, what is that?
Harold and Kumar go to
White Castle. What is that?
It was a good movie from last year.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle?
Right. Stoner movie. Very funny.
Let me tell you something right now, okay?
Okay.
The list I have from the Village Voice, this is the 6th Annual Film Critics Poll.
Mm-hmm.
This has got a list of 150 movies, okay?
Uh-huh.
I don't think that Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is on. Now, if it's on here, oh, look at that. The Passion of the Christ is only 45th on their list. Good for them.
It was out last year.
Good for those liberal Jews at the Village Voice. What?
It was out last year. We saw it in the theater last year. It was very popular.
Oh, it's number 122. It's tied with Free Radicals, The Mother, Mr. 3000, Open Water, Persons of Interest, and Trilogy.
Yeah, what do those suits know?
Well, it's tied for number 122. Can't be all that bad. So there it is. It's got 4 votes. Garden State's got 4, Sideways 4, and then everything else has got 3 or less. Before Sunset's only got 3. With Ethan Hawke and whatever her name is. What's her name?
Julie Delpy?
I don't know. Whatever
I could
it
be
is.
wrong about that. It's either
I mean,
Delpy or Depley.
Somebody will know. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. Let's look at that schedule for today. Mad Dog again, 4 days in a row. Oh, man, is he working heavy duty this week. 2 to 4. Hank Goldberg at Wyndham Crystal Palace in the Bahamas again, 4 to 6:30, plunging his guts out. If there's one thing I get real nervous about is people who gamble like crazy. Oh, sorry. I'm not going to tell that Woodbine story on the air, and don't you better not tell it either. At least not the amounts, anyway. It's nobody's business. But what? Don't you think that's a phenomenal comeback?
That is phenomenal. Get some help.
You're so full of crap. Do you think that really makes a lot of difference to me, that amount?
Of course not.
No. But the point is this.
Before it's too late.
The point is, I knew this crap was coming. That's why I hesitate even telling you. When you're gambling and you make listen to me.
Yeah.
When you you're losing your ass and you make a big comeback, even though you may only break even or win a little bit like I did yesterday, it's better than walking in and like right off the bat winning like a couple of grand. I mean, it's all relative depending on how much of a schlepper you might be, like Josh.
No, that's a much better story.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
When you're losing your ass and all of a sudden, bing, on a $5 wheel, there's 2,000 and then there's 750 on the line and then boom, 5,000 again. That's the 4th time I hit 5,000. Like in the last 2 weeks. In 1 week, I wasn't even here. I was in Florida. How do you like that? So what's the number for GA? No, seriously, it was a phenomenal comeback. I'm proud of it. Now, if you're going to play $5 machines, baby, you better be A, have big balls, and B, have a big bankroll, okay, have a big wad. 5670560, pound 560 on a Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Did you see Meet the Fockers? Great.
Meet the what?
The Fockers.
Oh, yeah, that's not the last year, that's this year.
I'm not sure.
That's this year.
Is it?
Yes, trust me when I tell you, that came out, unless it came right out the ass end of last year, I don't know.
It's out right now.
That's what I'm saying. And today's January the 5th. I don't know, it was 6th, which day it came out.
It probably came out in the tail end of December.
The ass end of December. Okay, we can put Meet the Fockers on there,
right.
Which I heard it really sucked. It's got a lot of big names in there. Isn't Al Pacino in that?
Barbra Streisand's in it.
Oh, like I said.
Yeah.
Not for me.
No.
Nicht for me, as the Chinese say. WQAM, hello.
Hey there.
Yes, sir, Pally.
How you doing, Neely?
Okay, pal.
Great. Listen, you were just talking about the thrill of coming back once you've plunged your guts out.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it can be really dangerous, but it's a lot of fun when it happens.
Right.
There's actually a book that I read. It's called Bob the Gambler.
Yeah.
And if you do a Google search on it, you'll find it. I'm sorry?
Careful, you almost said something else. You said Google search.
I'm sure if you do a Yahoo search on it, you'll come up with it. It's really an entertaining look at the psyche of the gambler.
Yeah.
But you're doing a great show, and
yes, I am.
Hope to see you at the Seminole one day.
No chance.
Okay.
You'll see me at Pompano Park when they get the slots in there next fall.
I love Pompano. I live up here in West Palm, so I go to the Greyhound. And they got a poker room over there I go to sometimes. So.
Well, watch it, man. Don't get carried away now.
Well, you know
we don't want to hear those tales of woe about how you lost your house and your wife and your dog and your family and your pension, you know.
I go in with a limited bankroll, and once it's gone, it's gone.
There you go. That's a smart man right there. That's it. Take whatever you can afford to lose, and otherwise forget about it.
Exactly. I leave the credit cards, I leave the ATM cards, all at home.
Good choice. Okay, Polly. See you at Pompino.
And in closing,
yes.
Poker, I didn't even know her.
Okay, see ya. Get out of here before you lose the license. Oh, and by the way, Wally Hennessy is still the Antichrist. Where's that Kelly Shepard? 20 till noon at 560 WQAM. We got to start. Did I finish the lineup or what? No, I did not. I got to Hank there being a degenerate gambler. Shame on you, Hank. Hurricane warm-up 6:30, and then 7 o'clock, UM at Georgia Tech. UM at Georgia Tech what? Basketball, I guess. There's nothing else going on in the middle of January, right? So I guess it's Hurricanes at Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets, isn't that what they are?
That's what they are.
Well, I'll be damned. And then Eddie K follows UM basketball like at 9:30 because college basketball don't go on like all forever and ever and ever. So as a result, Eddie K's got some extra work to do tonight. He'll give you the odds, the overs and unders, the ins and the outs. I wouldn't be surprised to see Eddie K at Woodbine one day. Hey, did you earn less than $50,000 last year? Speaking of plunging your guts out, if the answer is yes, then it's time for a career change. Pick up the phone and call Fast Train toll free at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. Fast Train can have your trainer ready for that new high-paying career in as little as 4 short, easy months. Count them if you can. Fast Train offers high-demand, high-pay career training. If you like computers, and if you've been ever thinking about becoming a computer network professional, call Fast Train today at 866-FAST-TRAIN. And don't forget, the demand for computer professionals right now is at an all-time high. Fast Train can have your trainer ready for your new career in as little as 4 months. And Fast Train's all over town, so there's bound to be a location convenient nearby you. They're in Kendall, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and even Pembroke Pines. Fast Train offers job placement and financial aid for guys who qualify, and gals and everybody else, too. Day, evening, and weekend classes forming right now, so if you'd like to change your life, get off that dead-end job you got, get out of that rut. Make the call today that can put some serious cash in your pocket. Call Fast Train toll-free at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
Joe Rogan hosts a brand new reality show.
All right, Harold, what is your greatest fear? Well, Joe, I'd say fear of intimacy.
It's Real Fear Factor.
Okay, then, for $50,000, all you have to do is propose to your girlfriend of 9 years. Joe, can I just jump off a building?
Sorry. Real Fear Factor is the show where contestants face their real fears, not made-up stuff like grabbing a flag attached to the end of a crane 10 stories in the air.
Emily, are you ready for your Real Fear Factor challenge?
Totally.
All right, you have a choice. You can walk into your boss's office and demand a raise, or you could eat a live sewer rat.
That's easy. Here goes.
Fear of success is definitely a factor for you.
Don't miss Real Fear Factor, the show for people with a real fear of quality television.
Amen. That's exactly what I was thinking. They must really play the American people for a bunch of morons, you know? And that's probably because they saw Bush won again. 11:45 at 560 WQAM. Happy Thursday to you. In case you missed it, man, Howard Stern's last show on QM tomorrow morning between 6 and whenever he goes home. Now, there's no way in the world that he's going to go through the entire show tomorrow. I bet you we get a 90 share tomorrow on the Stern Show. He's got to say something about, on Monday he ripped Citadel for a big part of the show because they dropped him in all their markets. Why is this a big secret?
I don't know.
Why is it not being discussed? In other words, it is going to happen. It's not like one of these things, well, maybe they're going to change their mind. No, they're not going to change their mind because contracts are being written, and we certainly want to have, like, overlapping contracts. In other words, we can't have, like, Hank doing mornings and Howard Stern doing mornings, and, like, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
That would be like having Stern doing, like, the 10 to 11 hour and me doing it at the same time. We certainly wouldn't want to do that. So at any rate, Hank will be on 7 to 10 Monday morning, and then we'll be 10 to 2 every day. Not like 10:15, not 10:45, not 11:07, but 10 to 2, which is what I'm being paid to do, what the contract says now, very specifically. And then like 2 to 4, we don't know. I mean, how do we say that on Thursday, January 6th, for a show that's going to start on Monday, January 10th? We don't know, but it's probably going to be Defoe. And we like Defoe a lot, you know? I better start sucking up a little bit because I ripped him an ass yesterday and because I was honest and I told you the way I really feel. But since he's going to be doing it, we got to be team players, right?
Right.
And we got to, slap ourselves on the knee and say, oh, he's going to be great. You're going to love that Paul Korn, man. He's all that living large stuff and what's that Restaurantes restaurant that he likes, all that.
Right.
Not to mention he's the only talk guy I can think of, sports or otherwise, who's a real...
John Killer.
Right, speaking of the Seminoles. You know what? I was in town for that week. A couple of friends of mine suggested, let's go over there to the Seminoles, and check it out. And I said, no. Just like the caller we had before. Good guy, but I guess he's delusional, Why would I want to subsidize them since they're going to get a piece, Why would I want to do that?
Why not?
Especially since it's... what do you mean by that?
What did they ever do to you?
They put those bogus ads on there. They finance behind the scenes those bogus ads talking about gambling is evil and it's going to ruin the reputation and the images outflow to the family tourism. In the meantime, I come to find out that it's being financed by people who are just afraid of competition. That's all. That's the business that they're in. This is the life they have chosen. I mean, you talk, and I dn't see all of them. I saw a couple of them, but friends of mine told me about the nature of some of those ads. I mean, just appealing to the worst, basest fears and hysteria of the public. Like an evil hand was going to come out of that slot machine and just choke and gag you and kidnap all your children, never to be seen again. Who all get, sucked into the slot machine and just vanish. Am I right? Isn't that kind of like the nature of the ads? Pretty scary?
Right.
Well, that's why I'm not going to subsidize them. Chum and Dreard, as the Yugoslavians used to say before all that other stuff happened in the Balkans, before we killed all those people. Oh, sorry. Appeals court, speaking of killing people, appeals court throws out Andrea Yates' conviction. Well, I'll be danged. Isn't it something that we have justice in America?
Yeah.
Once in a while, not too often, though. Andrea Yates' capital murder conviction for drowning her children were overturned today by an appeals court, which ruled a prosecution expert witness gave false testimony at her trial. Oh, brother. Yates' lawyers had argued at a hearing last month before a 3-judge panel of the First Court of Appeals in Houston that psychiatrist Park Dietz was wrong when he said he consulted on an episode of the TV show Law & Order involving a woman found innocent by reason of insanity for drowning her children. After jurors found Yates guilty, attorneys in the case and jurors learned that no such episode existed. We conclude there is reasonable likelihood that Dr. Dietz's false testimony could have affected the judgment of the jury, the court ruled. We further conclude that Dr. Dietz's false testimony affected the substantial rights of the appellant. Jurors in 2002 sentenced Yates to life in prison. In 2001, deaths of three of her children. She was not tried in the deaths of the other 2. Oh, so what does this mean? They overturned the conviction.
New trial.
Oh, we're going to have a new trial. We're not just going to turn her loose so she can drown some other kids. Why don't we put her in the same cell with Susan Smith and see what happens?
Good plan.
Wouldn't that be a good idea?
With a hot
they
tub.
Like take a shower together. Like maybe a bath would be good. With Meryl Streep. They can all hop in the same hot tub together. One thing about Meryl, man, she don't go easy, you know?
What does that mean?
Just what I said. She keeps, every time you think she's dead, she just keeps coming back. Maureen Dowd writes, don't torture yourself, that's his job. We'll get to that. That's about Alberto Jose Jimenez Gonzales. Oh, here's the thing, this is timely. Broward likely to approve slots in March vote. And can I just preface this by saying one thing? Because I used to go to Vegas like once a year for a long time, and then I got really tired of schlepping all the way out there in the desert, even though Vegas is very exciting, it's a fine place. But there's a certain burnout factor in going all the way out there, you know? Mm-hmm. Especially when a 25-minute cab ride from where I am right now to Woodbine, I can go in all the slots you could ever lose your money in, you know? So now that we're going to have slots in South Florida, there are going to be all these fearmongers and scaremongers. And you know something? It's just like opening up a bar. It's the same thing. There are alcoholics who are going to come in, who are going to go home stinking drunk and wasted, and are going to be slobbered all over and maybe driving drunk and whatever. That doesn't mean that prohibition is going to come back, because we tried that once. It doesn't work. Because we have about a small percentage of people who are just out of control, who have addictive personalities and don't care enough to get some help, doesn't mean the rest of us can't enjoy life, right?
Right.
And can't raise a lot of money at the same time for a good cause, as opposed to letting the Indians chop it all up. So they're going to, and I could tell you all kinds of stories. There's one guy out there at Woodbine tells me, I see him there almost every time I go. Wearing the same beat-up old dirty jacket, by the way. Get some new clothes, okay? Go to Goodwill. Go steal a jacket somewhere at Sears. And he's got the same story about how he lost his house, and he lost his whole life pension, and his wife, and and his family. And you know what I always say to him when he starts telling me, which I've heard it a million times, or somebody else's story, I'll say, yeah, but you're still here. What are you doing here? And what this guy does is he's a tout. He stands around behind people over their shoulder and watches them play. And you ought to cash out now, take it. You know. In the meantime, he's not playing anything, even with himself. You know, he's just touting. And I say, what are you doing here? You've got a problem, obviously. Why are you here telling everybody your tales of woe? We don't care. I'm not losing my house or my car or my pup tent or anything. If you can't handle it, if you don't have the money to be there, go away. That's all. Don't show up. Go play in traffic. Anyway. I just mentioned that in passing because you know you're going to hear that. You're going to hear those stories. Sure. And I will also mention this, that those people who have gambling problem, they have ample opportunity. There's every kind of gambling in Florida right now, with the exception of this, which we will have this year. You name it, we got it.
Oh, please, they'd be playing poker in the garage with all their buddies.
We got poker. We got poker at all the tracks.
I barely even knew it.
Like the guy said, if you like your poker. Broward County and the pari-mutuel industry have reached a draft agreement that could bring the county as much as $10 million a year if voters agree in March to expand gambling and allow slot machines, which they will. The 3 Broward cities, along with Dog Track, Horse Tracks, and High Life Fronton, also are negotiations that could bring them a percentage of the proceeds from as many as 10,000 slot machines. Florida voters in November amended the state constitution to let Broward and Dade residents vote on whether to allow slot machines at pari-mutuel facilities within their borders. Now, pro-gambling lobbyists are trying to persuade commissioners in both counties to hold referendums as soon as March. Well, I thought we always knew it was going to be March. This is in the Herald, by the way, so it's marginal. So far, only Broward has made any serious headway in the negotiations, and county commissioners will decide on Tuesday whether to schedule the vote. That's next Tuesday. The money the county is seeking is supposed to cover the cost of additional police protection, added traffic, and the other social costs of expanding gambling at Pompano Park, Dania High Life Fronton, Gulfstream Park, and Hollywood Greyhound Track. It seems to me it's perfectly reasonable that a business should cover the cost of the impact in our community, said Broward County Administrator Roger Desjardins. Sounds like a frog to me. It's no different than a developer paying impact fees. The county's estimates are based on the premise that each slot machine nets out $200 a day after payouts and expenses. Initially, about 4,000 machines would be in play. As many as 10,000 could be operational in 4 years. Broward wants 1.5% of the revenue from each machine. Calculate After winnings are paid out, pari-mutuel lobbyists have countered with a 1% offer. The county is also trying to negotiate a deal that brings Pompano Beach, Dania Beach, and Hallandale Beach 2% of the revenue from each of the machines within their borders. It's interesting. They're doing it like on a per-machine basis. I understand, based on the number of machines, I see. There have been some language hang-ups, but I think they're close, said lobbyist Ron Book, who represents the pari-mutuels industry, but they'll get there, and you know what, he's right, they will get there. The county commission's auditor, Evan Lukic, said Wednesday he's been reviewing the contract to ensure the county wrangles as much as possible out of the deal. They squeeze the blood out of them, so if you're losing your ass, just blame the county on it. They're just squeezing too much. Our biggest thing is protecting the community, what protection the county has, and how the deal is structured, Lukic said. But come Tuesday, the referendum will probably be approved, the Herald says. Only Mayor Kristen Jacobs, who lived in Vegas and has moral objections to gambling, oh my God, voted against the referendum when it first came up late last year. Everyone keeps being dazzled by these numbers, but they're not based on anything real, Jacobs said. Still, the Broward County Commission, which includes 3 lawyers and is known for haggling over the smallest details of contracts during meetings, probably they know Joyce, is likely to join Jacobs in tough negotiations. Obviously, we're trying to get the best deal for the county, said Vice Mayor Ben Graber. Isn't it interesting? He's the vice mayor. That's probably why he's involved in this. Jacobs said that since it's clear her 8 colleagues on the county commission want the issue on the ballot, she'll work next week to negotiate the best deal she can for the county, but once her colleagues approve it, she'll begin working to defeat the referendum. Fat chance, honey. You got no chance. None and much, 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 much less than none, okay? There's about as much chance of that as all of a sudden Dayton Broward turning into like a paradise, okay? No chance in your pants, honey. None. I make my point clear? Good. Okay, let's get about 100 more things on here, like eating Gilbert's grapes. That's an old movie.
Yes.
I don't think anybody in this audience will want to even be near Gilbert's grapes. What do you think was the best movie of 2004? We've got 255 votes. Not too bad, considering that's maybe not the greatest poll question ever. It's certainly not as scintillating as what do you think of Howard Stern go off QAM on Monday, where we had like almost 2,000 votes. Remember that?
Yep.
That was hot, baby. That was big. It was smoking. Fahrenheit 9/11, 109. Spider-Man 2, 20. Passion of the Christ, 19. Shrek 2, 18. Team America, highly recommended by George, 14. He said there's a lot of hot young people in it, naked.
Yeah.
No?
It's puppets, man.
Well, what's the movie you told me that I had to see with all the hot young naked people in it? Team America is puppets. He said there's a lot of hot young puppets in it. Now, what's that movie you were telling me?
I forgot.
Oh, gee, get out of it. If there's not a lot of, what do I want to see puppets? Why would
funny.
I want to see that?
It's funny.
Get out of here, puppets, my
by
ass.
The Southport guys.
I like South Park, but puppets.
Michael Moore's in it.
Oh, I want to see it. The Incredibles 11. Well, I know you told me about some other movie, but it must have been so outstanding you already forgot. Kill Bill Volume 2, 8. Born Supremacy 7, with the lovely Matt Damon, who's got a very strange mouth. Garden State 6, kind of looks like his lips have been stretched. Sideways 6. Meet the Fockers 5. That is their name, by the way.
Yeah.
Like the Huxtables, the Fockers. There's Papa Focker and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind 5. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle 5. Now, do they really go to White Castle? Is Wayne
we're not going to give away the ending.
No, but is that what it's all about? Really going to a White Castle?
That's what it's all about. It's an odyssey. It's not for you.
I sure hope they had fresh onions on the burger.
For young stoners.
Oh, I see. Collateral 5. Polar Express 4. $1 Million Baby 4. Before Sunset, only 3 with Ethan Hawke and what's her name? Kinsey 2, Closer 2. Nobody ever told us what the real name of that is. Closer. It's about White Wilhelm. It's about Elroy Face. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unknown Events, Unfortunate Events 1. The Aviator 1. That's with lovely Leo, but it don't seem to be doing all that great, Carolyn. I guess you're the only one in this audience because we don't have a bunch of teenage silly little girls out there listening. You're the only one that's got the hots for Leo, Carolyn, although we do believe you that you don't we? Not? Riding Giants 1, House of Flying Daggers 1, and Dogville has got the big... Oh! He's in it, by the way.
You're listening to Rock Solid exclusively on 560 QAM. This is Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
We are the new Christianity. George Bush is our Christ and King. We are a land of ignorant mugwumps. Praise to thee, our Prince of Dumbness. New sacrifice we must ingest. The body and blood of Falwell's flesh. Bush is Lord and giver of life, Hosanna in the highest. is Lord and giver of life. Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna in the highest. Blessed is the bush of covenant. Worship, push or die. Worship, push or die. Worship, push or die.
You know, it's interesting. I was just thinking about that. Barbara Boxer is the one senator that signed on to that resolution,
right?
The joint House-Senate resolution not to certify the election results in Ohio. Where was John Kerry? You know that article I mentioned that we had on our website by Robert Perry on January 6th? Will John Kerry report for duty?
No.
Oh, man.
We could call this the Boxer Rebellion.
I love the way that he dragged Teresa around like a rag doll. And that was kind of amusing.
Well, she wasn't going to do it on her own.
Here's this incoherent bitch who's got billions of dollars, and her husband is dragged. She's always, like, stoned off her ass. Well, she takes a lot of painkillers, I guess.
She can afford them.
And he's dragging her around like a rag doll. And her hair looked like a rag doll. She was definitely an ass at 5670560 pound. And John Edwards, he was really a big asset too. When you look at the way that he helped sweep the South for Kerry and the Democrats. Pound 560 on the Verizon singular. Look at that. There's not one call on the board right now. What's that all about? I can't remember last time I saw that. There must be some kind of an accident.
They're watching
Look at that.
confirmation hearings.
Oh, is that what it is? They're all watching Alberto Jimenez Gonzales? Yeah, fat chance. No, I think they're so mesmerized by whatever the hell we were talking about, which I have no idea what it was. Oh, about Leo. I think the Leo talk is what probably drove this crowd away. And although I will say this, I like him better than Mel Gibson. If I never saw Leo DiCaprio again, I'd be very happy, but I like him much better than Mel Gibson in every respect. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You're asking, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You were asking about that movie, Closer?
Yes, Closer, is that it?
It's Closer. It's the one with Julia Roberts and Jude Law.
Oh, I like Jude Law.
Yeah,
Julia Roberts I like occasionally. Once in a while she's pretty good.
Yeah, well, you won't like them in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's not very good. It's kind of like a love triangle, but there's four people, and they just bounce around back and forth.
A love quad actor, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was very good. I was wondering if you had ever seen or anyone had mentioned to you the movie Owning Mahoney.
No. I remember Jerry Mahoney with Paul Winchell.
Well, it's a pretty good movie. It stars,
I remember Reverend Pat Mahoney, who was always on Mr. Ego show screaming about abortion.
Is it Philip Seymour Hoffman, the
right.
kind of overweight guy, reddish
Magnolia,
hair?
Right.
Yeah, it stars him, and it's
he was
based
also
on
in Talented Mr. Ripley. He played Freddie.
Yeah, and the Boogie Nights. He was the
right. Yeah, he's good.
Well, he stars in this movie, and it's based on a true story. There was a guy, Dan Mahoney, in Toronto in the early '80s who develops. He's addicted to gambling, and he works in a bank. He has the authority to give out loans, and he keeps overriding loans. And instead of a $200,000 loan, he'll make it for $300,000, and then take the $100,000 to the casinos.
Oh, sounds like a plan.
Well, he eventually did get caught.
Oh.
But if you get a chance, you should check it out. I think you'd like it.
What's it called?
Owning Mahoney.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great New Year.
Okay, you too.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh! Where the hell does this thing start already?
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one.
See, now, you might not like Magnolia like I do, but anybody who doesn't like Amy Mann, as far as we're concerned, is a commie pinko piece of crap, ought to be deported immediately, if not sooner.
I liked her since till Tuesday.
How could you not like Amy Mann? She is just fine as wine. What's that really depressing? Well, that one's really depressing, too, but what's that other one?
The other what?
That other song from Magnolia.
Oh, I don't know the name of it. It's track...
Huh?
I know the one you're talking about.
Oh, I'll find it
because
I got the CD right here. Boy, that thing is
through
so...
real quick.
It's very depressing.
With the first note, but it's a great song.
It's called... it's right here. It's called... Wise Up.
There it is.
And it's enough to make you commit suicide, as a matter of fact. Get Matty Bell to listen.
There you go.
Oh, man, is this the morbid... But it fits right in with that part of the movie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
People with problems... like William H. Macy, he's got a small problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you thought when you first began.
Boy, she's so... And the music, which I think she wrote a lot of it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
It's so perfect. It fits with a movie like a rubber glove right inside your...
Rectum?
Yeah, inside Uranus. For all you space cadets, 567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon. And please, do yourself a favor, go out and rent or buy or steal Magnolia. I don't care what George says. It's long when you got, like on the weekend, when it's really boring and it's cloudy and rainy and breezy and windy, and you don't want to go out and, like, go
make up your own
snorkeling,
ending.
etc. Huh?
And you can make up your own ending.
I don't care whether George likes the ending or not. Believe me, you go watch it for yourself. Don't listen to him. He's just always looking for a Mr. Negatory, one of the great movies ever made in history. Every acting performance in it is sensational. Even you don't disagree with that.
No, that's accurate.
Okay, so shut up. WQAM, hello. Henry Gibson, that's the name I can never remember, okay?
That's it.
At the bar. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Johnny Mahoney here. The best movie of the year was Collateral.
Collateral, okay.
That was the best movie. And another thing I was trying to call a couple days ago is, with all the hype that, Howard had with the Sirius announcement in October, they only scattered up a little over 200,000 additional subscribers. So,
right.
I don't know if it could have been any hotter than he was at the time when he made the announcement in the, Parmesan went over there.
Right.
But that does, he needs 1 million subscribers a year.
Yeah.
Additional each year to make any money. So, I don't know. It doesn't look too good.
No, I like sticking with a sure thing, okay? Because even though I might have to wait an extra day for my paycheck, at least I know it's coming.
Yeah, I actually wrote an email, but of course they would never put that on the air.
Okay, thanks a lot, Pally.
True. See you. Bye.
No, they would not put it on the air because it's something negatory, and he doesn't want anything like that. In addition to which, I'm sure they're screening out the calls from Florida. There have got to be. Stern people have been calling there all week long. The articles were in the Herald, the Sun Sentinel. They were on the Weekly Reader. They were on everywhere.
Maybe we don't have any yentas in this town.
Yeah, right. Right. Especially radio yentas, man. We got them by the zillion, a dime a dozen. So, for whatever reason, they're keeping it mighty low. But then come Monday, when he doesn't show up on here, what happened? Well, he's not going to be on Monday, okay? It's going to be the Hank Goldberg early morning show. And then this morning, Duff says to me, should we put him on the list for Howie's? Are you crazy, Duff?
They have salads.
Hank Goldberg is not going to be eating salads. The man doesn't need to be eating in the morning, okay? Let him have some of that nice bacon like I have. Some of that microwave bacon. He can pop it in the microwave, even though he doesn't, cook at home. He can pop it in right there. He can borrow our microwave. How do you like that, since we're nice, generous guys? Just nuke it right in there, Humper, and have a little bacon before you go on there. Something that won't raise your blood sugar. Something that's not going to kill you. Because if you guys or just get the bacon from Howie's. There you go. Right?
Of course.
And don't let them give them like they did that one time, 700 strips of it like they gave it to me. I thought my insides were actually going to fall out. I mean, I was lubricated like even the finest running machine in the history of the world has never been lubed up like my insides were. Holy cow. That was unreal. Now, you remember that day?
I do.
I mean, it's one thing to bring a guy, I love bacon, a little bit would be nice, a little rasher or whatever the hell they call it. Why do they call it a rasher? I don't know what that means.
What do they call it?
It's a certain amount. But to bring like in about 7,000 strips of bacon, see, it's killing people with kindness. I've talked about that till I'm blue in the face. People don't get it. It's like that broad that used to bring in the Smarties at the hockey games. Every time she'd be there. Big Leafs fan. Every time I'd be at the Yenta Center out there for the Panthers and Leafs or whatever game she happened to show up at. I brought you all these Smarties from Toronto. And I'd say to her, I'm diabetic, please. Oh, no, here, take them. I know you love them. And of course I would eat them, being the addictive to sugar person that I am. And by the time the first period started, my head was spinning. I thought that Frank Mahalovich was out there playing. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Killing people with kindness. Here's a fax that says, please see City of God. That is my favorite for the year. City of God. Now it says for this year, but was City of God out in last year?
I don't know.
Well, put it on there. Maybe it will. Maybe it was, or maybe it won't.
Maybe it will be.
I mean, it's not scientific. Like I always say with these polls, these people, that didn't come out until, a tough TD, okay? Tough toddy. I do like hot toddy, though. Haven't had that in years.
With cinnamon on
it? Like hot toddy?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is hot toddy? It's not hot chocolate.
I don't know. It's like a nog family, I think.
It's kind of like malted milk.
Right.
We've been through that a million times, too, man.
Something
There's nothing
like white.
Original malted milk. Oh, man.
Malted milkshake.
We got to get, that's what we need. Is a real soda shop with a soda jerk.
They make really good ones over at the Starlight Diners.
Yeah, that kind of a place, but like in a Walgreens, was it Walgreens?
Oh yeah, the soda.
Or Neisner's, or one of those places where they used to have their own soda fountain.
Was it Woolworths?
Yeah, that might have been it. And they had like the cherry Coke out of the real fountain, real fountain Coke, not this watered down crap. Egg creams, real cheeseburgers that they cooked on the grill fresh with like real meat, not with this patented rubber that they got like at Burger King.
Good ice cream floats.
Yeah, and that's probably why people weren't dying quite so much from clogged arteries like they are now. They used to make things like fresh and delicious as opposed to now like everything is prefabricated for shelf life and it's made with like 85,000 chemicals. They're killing you, man. And then, of course, you do realize, and probably don't realize, that advertising pharmaceutical prescription drugs on television or radio in Canada is illegal.
As it ought to be.
Right. They can advertise over-the-counter drugs, but advertising prescription drugs is illegal in this country. But in the U.S., if you watch the CBS Evening News or any other damn program, now every other ad is for Lipitor and Vioxx, when that was still hot before they decided it was killing people. You name it. And, of course, the Cialis, the Olymp member crowd, you know. Every other spot. In fact, sometimes they're like side by each, back-to-back. You know how they got those piggyback 30 seconds? Back-to-back for pharmaceutical drugs, so that they can continue killing you. And then after you start taking it for 6 months, you go to your doctor, oh, that sounded really good, give me a prescription for that. Oh, guess what? It's killing you. You're going to have a heart attack. You're going to die. Oh, but, well, pretty sad. See, when the health of the public becomes nothing more than business, then you got a real serious problem. You follow what I'm saying? Follow my drift?
What are you saying?
Resolve yourself to a better night's sleep in 2005 by calling 1-800-MATTRESS. That's what I'm saying right now. Nothing's got a bigger impact on your daily health, well-being, and productivity than a good night's sleep. And you can get a great night's sleep tonight without sleeping pills, by the way, from Dial-A-Mattress, because if you have a great mattress, you sleep like a baby. So call 1-800-MATTRESS right now. If your mattress is more than 10 years old or it's sagging or lumpy, bumpy, like crap, then now's the time for a new one. And you can get a great deal from our friends at Dial-A-Mattress, like always. Choose from Sealy, Serta, Simmons, King Coil, Tempur-Pedic, and Stearns and Bananas Foster, too. Boy, I sure love Bananas Foster. Wow. That is one of my very favorites. And also, what's that other stuff? Not tiramisu. What's that other chocolate thing? How about the chocolate fondue fountain at the Emerald Coast? Dial-A-Mattress takes same-day orders all day long from Kendall to Stewart, from Palm Beach to Fort Myers, and they still let you pick that 2-hour window for delivery whenever it's convenient for you when you're going to be there, as opposed to sitting around killing a whole day praying and hoping somebody shows up. At Dial-A-Mattress, they're proud of their delivery record on time 99.7% of the time, which is why Dial-A-Mattress won the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch Award for Excellence. I've been using them for years. Next time you need a new mattress, you ought to be doing the same. Just pick up that phone, one easy call, 1-800-MATTRESS, or log on to their website, mattress.com. Dial-A-Mattress, 1-800-MATTRES.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively. QAM.
Oh, man, what's up with your fakanta, Mr. Porter?
Can I help you?
Yeah, hi. Is this Brainerd?
Yes.
Where Fargo was filmed?
They just left.
No, Fargo.
Yes?
Is this where the movie Fargo was filmed?
No.
Yeah, but this is Brainerd, right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie, Fargo?
What do you mean by Fargo?
The movie, Fargo.
We didn't receive anything.
No, is your manager in?
This is manager.
Okay, there's a movie called Fargo that was filmed at your place.
Okay, what time? Do you know? It's mailed to Greyhound Line?
Are you kidding me? Fargo. It's a movie. It was filmed at your hotel.
I don't know what you're saying, sir.
Okay, Hey there.
Yes.
What's up? Yeah. They filmed the movie Fargo there. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Sir, this is lodge. I mean, the people stay here. They don't mail here the Fargo movies.
No. The movie was filmed there, yeah.
No, nothing is here.
I want to put you through a wood chipper!
12:18. I was thinking, so I just looked it up. I did the easy way. Frances McDormand.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
She was in Fargo with William H. Macy.
Right.
And she was really, I mean, he was good, as always, he's great. But she was spectacular. And who the hell would have ever said, who the hell's Frances McDormand?
Right.
Who would know who that is?
She's in practically all of the Coen brother movies, which are almost all good.
Is she really?
She was in Raising Arizona and Blood Simple, for example.
Oh, Blood Simple, that's right. That was good.
Yes.
Raising Arizona, I never saw.
It's good. It's rye. You might not like it.
Was that about Phoenix, River Phoenix, Arizona?
No.
Pahonix?
No.
Erotic dancer fights Key West City Hall and wins. Let's hear it for her.
Oh!
Key West, the city shut down Christie Sweet's personal dances as part of a crackdown on adult entertainment in the island community, generally known for its indulgences, but she fought back. You go, girl. The city agreed to let her return to the business of offering one-on-one erotic dances, and the city will pay $19,500 in legal costs after a federal judge indicated he was inclined to rule for Sweet, said attorney Michael Burke, who represented the city. He said she was sweet. I thought she should never have been forced to go through what she went through, her attorney Richard Wilson said yesterday. Her business is legal. Wilson did not provide a telephone number for Sweet, and there were no listings in Key West for her or her business. Sweet opened her storefront in July 2002, but was ordered to close in December 2003 as the city reworked its adult entertainment codes. A new version approved last July concentrates adult cabarets in the Duval Street Tourist District. It's kind of ironic for the city of Key West to be concerned about adult entertainment, a city which reaps a vast fortune from what can only be described as an annual event of debauchery, Wilson said. What do they think this is all about? He was referring to the Halloween season fantasy fest, which culminates in a parade that usually includes participants wearing only body paint. Oh, I can't wait to see. You know who I can't even wait to see in body paint?
Who?
Let me give you one clue.
Duh.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Maybe he'll come in body paint tomorrow.
Duh.
Yeah, like black and blue. Or at least part of that.
Dolphin colors.
5670560, the best movie of 2004. Nobody's coming close to Fahrenheit 9/11. I'll tell you that right now. Not even in the same ballpark. There is nobody even on the horizon. Even old Jesus himself can't come close to Michael Moore. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I forgot what I was going to tell you yesterday, but I remember today.
Okay.
Because you be doing your younger fans a great service. You can talk more about sex and drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm all for killing people with kindness as long as it kills them. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, at least do a good job. That's right. That's a good point. If you're going to kill people with kindness, get the job finished, okay? Don't just kind of like tease them along. That's a good idea.
That's
good
right.
point.
Shove that.
Well, we can't talk about sex anymore because you live in America and the airwaves. And what was the other one? Drugs? Well, George has got some good numbers for you. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless line. See, the people that talk about sex the most, I've said this many times before, the ones who are getting it the least. I don't know. Talking about it just doesn't do it for me. I'd rather do it. You know, I don't know about you, but I would much rather do it than talk about it, hear other people talk about it. It does nothing for me. It doesn't titillate me. It doesn't excite me hearing about other people's hanky-panky. I don't care. I really don't care in the least bit. Just like all this tabloid crap about this one's diddling that one. And who cares? Why does it make any difference? You know, it's just like that whole business. Oh, well, you're sleeping with so-and-so. Why do you care? How does that affect you?
It's gossiping.
Why are you sitting outside my house in Plantation at 3 o'clock in the morning worrying about who's entering my home and who's leaving? And are you sitting there squeezing yourself while you're conjuring up all sorts of wild hallucinations?
Janet?
I just don't get it.
That's not what I heard.
Well, WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year to you and George.
And back to you, sir.
Thank you. Hey, I wanted to know, when did this change happen when sex became bad and violence became good?
1776.
Oh, that's when it came into effect?
Actually, when it happened in 1980, when Ronald Reagan was elected president, and all the right-wingers, the Jesus Christers took over America.
Yeah.
The God Squad, man. The oral majority.
When
That's when.
These people are crazy.
No Schmidt.
I tell you, they're just trying to run people's lives instead of, trying to run their own life. They want to get into our bedrooms and our personal lives and tell us what to do.
All we ask is leave us alone. Leave us alone. Leave everybody else alone. Mind your own business. None your business. And get lost. That's all. And they won't do it. They're going to impose their will on everybody else.
Exactly. Or they're just going to make everybody move to Canada.
That sounds like a winner to me, man. See you at the border, eh?
All righty.
Okay, see you. 567. No, that's true. I mean, what a difference. I mean, you can cross the border. It's like on one side is the U.S. and you like cross a fence or cross whatever, and then now you're in Canada. It's like you've crossed at another planet. Like you've taken a giant leap 500 years ahead. Oh, legalizing gay marriage and decriminalizing pot and all of these. What do you and socialized medicine where everybody has health care? What a concept. And not having everybody running around with guns murdering each other. You know how many murders we had in the city last year? Here, I think it was 61. Which is still too many, and they're all aghast about that. And, a city of comparable size in the U.S. is like 400 or 500 a year, 350 in a really clean year,
See, we're better at everything.
Yeah, that's right. Just like Florida, man, whether it's sexually transmitted diseases, whether it's murders, South Florida is generally like, and not only South Florida, but Tampa and West Palm, Jacksonville. Usually Florida cities are right up there in the running, all of those horrible categories, whatever it is. And then there's some people who have the audacity of, this is paradise. Yeah, it's paradise, I guess, when you can't go anyplace else.
Well, he didn't know. He'd just gotten here.
Yeah, and then I guess once he worked at QM a few months, he realized there was a living hell. How do you like that?
Absolutely.
That's why he was trying to make it a living hell for all the rest of us. See, I was thinking about that this morning, I mean, somebody brought it up the other day, joking about Mad Dog and him doing the games together and about some comment that he made about how great it was working with the Mad Dog. And man, it's just pretend he didn't even hear it, just moved on to some other comment. When you work within a group of people, not just in one place, but in a number of places, and every single one of them hates you like poison. Now, maybe that's why he finally flipped his lid. You know what I'm saying? Maybe finally why he ditched the muskrat. And like stop the stuffy stuff with the checkered pants and all the, putting on the pretenses and picking them dingleberries. Maybe that's the reason. I guess it was a little bit too late, much too late. But if it were me, in other words, if I worked in that environment and everybody in the building hated me like poison, which I'm not the kind of person, as you know, that cares about what other people think, but if everybody hated me with like a passion, I'd have to say, well, gee, I must be doing something wrong. I must be a really bad guy. I must need some social skills, something, right?
It's everybody else.
No, it's just you run out of that excuse after a while. After the 7,000th person that you work with finally hates you like poison and turns on you like a rat, like that one too. You got to say, I must need to be a little more humble, a little more human, a little something, less cranky and obnoxious and full of crap. Less cantankerous. Isn't that a good word for him? Cantankerous.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's him. Although, like I told him that day before vacation, and I was being honest, in kind of a sick, masochistic way, we miss him.
I'm listening.
Well, good. Hope he had a wonderful New Year. Well, at least a decent New Year. Not wonderful. I don't think he could have a wonderful New Year, do you?
Why not? He's got a wonderful family who all love him.
1226 at 560 WQM. It's time to talk about Acceptance Capital Mortgage and everyone's main man, Anthony Caliendo. Whether you're buying a new house or just refinancing, whether you're looking to get cash out or just paying down that debt, Acceptance Capital Mortgage will show you the way to get it done. And everybody wants to get done. Acceptance Capital specializes in any situation. They'll get it done when others can't. 100% financing, option arms, new construction loans, investor and commercial properties. Check out Acceptance Capital's stress-free mortgage payment program. Pick from 4 payment coupons based on your financial situation for that month with the Pick-a-Pay program. No income verification is even necessary. And your credit score doesn't determine your approval like all other programs because at Acceptance Capital Mortgage, they realize that sometimes bad things happen to good people. In most cases, you can pull out cash, pay off all your debts, and still pay less for your mortgage payment every month. So call Anthony Caliendo at Acceptance Capital today. Get some cash in your pocket. Find out why Anthony is everybody's main man. That's Acceptance Capital Mortgage. Call them today, toll-free, 1-888-483-LOAN. That's 1-888-483-LOAN.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Rectum.
I saw a player with a Louisville Slugger in his hand, hitting the baseball into the upper deck. Last year he couldn't reach the warning track, and now we're wondering what the heck. They're huge steroids in baseball. They're huge. They're huge steroids in baseball. They're huge. Well, I saw Gary Sheffield looking pretty mean, doing some steroids in baseball. Well, I saw Jason Giambi, can't believe he's clean. Must be the steroids in baseball. I saw Barry Bonds sneaking into Balco Labs for a fix. His forearms were gigantic. They're huge. Steroids in baseball.
Hey, our new Attorney General designate, Alberto Jose Gonzales, got quite a chuckle when he thought that the Geneva Convention was being held in Geneva, New York. Kind of cute.
Okay.
He's a moron, man. He's dangerous. He's a devious, dangerous. He's a lunatic. He's another crazy person. He's another disciple of Dick Cheney.
Did you say evil already?
Yes.
Okay.
He's an evildoer. I think George had a good point on that. George W. I think we need to get rid of the evildoers. Okay. When in doubt, throw them out. Let's have an impeachment trial right now.
Oh!
See, this is the thing that the world can't understand. At the time the man should have been impeached, he was busy getting reelected. I just don't get it. There's just something wrong there. I mean, Bubba, he's going through an impeachment because of a little dalliance here and there, because of a little BJ, which is all as close as we can say, a couple of those. And in the meantime, here's a guy that's sending off thousands of people to get killed in a bogus war based on a pack of lies. And the media, oh, yeah. That dinner they had that night, the whatever the hell they call that media dinner in Washington, D.C., where they're all the National Press Club dinner. Mm-hmm. Remember that?
Yep.
That's in the movie. That's in Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's joking about, where are those weapons? None under here, none under there. They're all yucking it up. And I wonder what the parents of all the dead kids over there in Iraq are thinking about that. Very funny, Mr. President. What a Nazi, what a lunatic, and what an incompetent media man. Like I told you before many, many times, there's only one person who makes any sense to me. It's Tammy Faye.
The media is sick and needs help badly.
I think Freaky Carlos has a point there, and I hate to say that because he's disgusting. Maureen Dowd writes, don't torture yourself, that's his job. The Associated Press headline that came over the wire yesterday said it all. Gonzales will follow non-torture policies. You know how bad the situation is when the President's choice for Attorney General has to formally pledge not to support torture anymore. Alberto Gonzales may have been willing to legally justify something that was abhorrent to everything America stands for, but it's all relative. Given that Mr. Gonzales is replacing the odious John Ashcroft, Democrats didn't seem inclined to try to derail the Hispanic nominee, even though his memo fostered the atmosphere that led to disgusting scandals in
Abu Ghraib
and Gitmo. Just to get things started on the right foot, though, Mr. Gonzales planned to go the extra mile and offer the quaint, obsolete Senate Democrats a more nuanced explanation of why he called the Geneva Conventions quaint and obsolete. Before we helped President Bush circumvent the Accords and reserve the right to do so in this or future conflicts, you had to tune into an old movie with Nazi generals or Viet Cong guards if you wanted to see someone sneeringly shrug off the international treaty protecting prisoners from abuse. You worthless running dog, Chuck Norris, what do we care about your silly Geneva Conventions? How are you to believe Mr. Gonzales when he says he's through with torture? His mission is clearly to do whatever he thinks Mr. Bush wants. After Gaul, that's spelled G-A-L-L in this column, all Gaul is divided into parts, so what's next? The Commerce Department nominee, promising that giveaways to big business will be done with subtlety. The Environmental Protection Agency nominee, promising that the toxin content in water will never rise to Yushchenko level. It's comforting to start the new year in the hands of a party that cares so much about morals and values. Tom DeLay and oily House Republicans inaugurated their new term by gutting ethics rules just in case any of them get caught in whatever misconduct they're plotting. Rummy continued on his oblivious dissembling path, refusing to admit that he's tapped out the Army and broken the Army Reserve with what Lieutenant General James Helmley, the frustrated Chief of Army Reserve, calls dysfunctional policies. We've gotten so numb on Iraq that when 8 American soldiers and over 80 Iraqi police officers get killed, when the governor of Baghdad gets assassinated, and when our puppets plead with Mr. Bush to delay the elections, it all seems like just another week of pre-election maneuvering. In the L.A. Times, we learn that Bush fave, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Token Thomas, has accepted tens of thousands of dollars worth of gifts since joining the High Court, including $1,200 worth of tires, valuable historical items, and a $5,000 personal check to help pay a relative's education expenses. A guy we pay nearly $200,000 a year can't pop for his own tires? Whatever happened to the dignity of the robe? At least we know where our possible future Chief Justice stands for, on the side of personal corruption. He also took a free trip aboard a private jet to the exclusive Bohemian Grove Club in Northern California, arranged by a wealthy Texas real estate investor who helped run an advocacy group that filed briefs with the Supreme Court, the paper said. The L.A. Times reviewed the disclosures of all 9 justices for the years 98 through 2003 and found that Thomas accepted $42,200 in gifts, making him the top recipient. Next in that period was Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, who accepted almost $6,000 in gifts, mostly small crystal figurines and other items. Clarence Thomas follows Antonin Scalia's lead on the law, why also not on ethics. Justice Scalia defended taking his relatives on a ride on Air Force 2 to Louisiana with Dick Cheney to go duck hunting, even though the VP had an important case before the court, by saying that it would have been a considerable inconvenience to fly commercial. Going through a blistering confirmation hearing where his inappropriate behavior was questioned didn't teach Clarence Thomas much. Can we hope for anything better from Mr. Gonzales after he's waved through to be man in charge of enforcing our laws? Well, Joe Biden was giving him the what for, but, you know, it's just a dog and pony show. Right?
Right.
We all know exactly what's going to happen, just like we should have known what was going to happen with a fixed election. For example, Ohio's Republican Secretary of State, Kenneth Blackwell. You'll love this story, man. This will make you, like, pissed off and fired up. Kenneth Blackwell boasted of helping deliver Ohio for President Bush, said he was truly pleased to announce Bush had won Ohio, even before all of the state's votes had been counted, in his own fundraising letter. The letter, which was received by a Butler County resident December 31, is a plea to support Blackwell's campaign for governor. The resident who gave it is asked to remain anonymous. He'd like to stay alive. In apparent disregard for his nonpartisan role as Ohio's chief election official, the Republican secretary and chairman of Bush's Ohio re-election campaign slammed John Kerry as a disaster who would have reaped terrible and horrible results on both Ohio and the U.S. Further, Blackwell's use of the word deliver finds striking resonance with another controversial fundraising letter sent by the CEO of voting machine manufacturer Diebold Walden Odell in the summer of 2003 when he said he was committed to helping Ohio deliver its electoral votes to the president next year. Blackwell's campaign office confirmed that they sent the letter but offered no further comment. Without your enthusiasm, generous support, and vote, I'm afraid the president would have lost, Blackwell wrote, and an unapologetic liberal Democrat named John Kerry would have won. Thankfully, he adds, you and I stopped that disaster from happening. Blackwell also noted that he was truly pleased to announce President Bush the victor in Ohio, even before all the votes had been counted. He adds that he declared the victor on his own personal belief. Boy, does this sound like Catherine Harris or what? Or Glenda in the Hood? In the late hours of election night, I was truly pleased to announce President Bush had won a critical and clinching victory here in Ohio on the belief that it was statistically improbable for Senator Kerry to recover, the Secretary penned. Even in the wake of a House Judiciary Committee investigation by Democrats into voting irregularities in Ohio, Blackwell goes as far as to say that he was proud to prevent voting fraud. Myriad published reports have noted that Blackwell went out of his way to keep voters from voting, at one point insisting that voter registration cards be accepted only on a paper of a certain weight. I have never shied away from giving the Liberals fits, he remarked in the letter, and I'm sure that with all the voter fraud we prevented during the last election, they'll be looking to get even with me in my next political campaign. Representative John Conyers of Michigan report on voting irregularities will blast Blackwell for his transparent partisanship. Raw Story, which is the website this is on, has been given copies of that report. Many have strongly suspected that the inexplicable and arbitrary decisions of Secretary Blackwell stem from partisan political motivations, Conyers' staff report declares. The suspicion apparently is bolstered by Secretary Blackwell himself in a recently sent fundraising letter. Conyers' report showers scorn on Blackwell for his pleasure announcing Bush's victory. Such a blatant statement acknowledging the commingling of his official duty to ensure a fair election with his partisan duty to re-elect President Bush, made in a political fundraising appeal, evidences Secretary Blackwell's poor judgment at best and the manipulation of election administration for partisan purposes at worst, the report asserts. It just goes on, and the public is sitting back like that. Isn't that what they're doing?
Something like that.
They got important fish to fry, baby. Yeah. We got drug talk, baby. Just ask Clarence Coker Thomas. He's got some good shit.
Hey, there we go. Hey, y'all, my name is Clarence Eugene Thomas, President Bush's nominee for the Supreme Court. And you know, there's lots of people out there that think just cause I smoked a little marijuana when I was in college. Yeah, it wasn't nothing but a pen joint. Hell, maybe a cigar-side joint. I don't remember y'all. That they don't think I'm fit to be on the Supreme Court. Hey, I got the munchies. Let's do this quick and get out of here. I want to set y'all straight. When I start reviewing the law, I don't just review the law. Hell, y'all, I'll be toking. And I toke it to the east, and I toke it to the west, and I toke it while I look up Sandra Day O'Connor's dress. I'll be toking. Let's go burn one, y'all.
Oh, and speaking of the God Squad, Columbia, South Carolina, this just faxed in, thanks to whoever sent this. Former Darlington, South Carolina church youth minister and his wife have been arrested in connection with a sexual abuse case. Richard Johnson, 34, was arrested yesterday and charged with committing a lewd act on a minor. His wife, Natalie Johnson, 27, was charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The arrest stemmed from an incident involving then 13-year-old girl who was a member of Trinity United Methodist Church in Darlington and who accompanied the couple to Myrtle Beach on a vacation in November 2001. Richard Johnson had worked as youth minister at the church for 5 years until he resigned this October, citing personal reasons. This has been a tragic event, especially those most directly affected, said the Reverend Timothy Rogers, pastor of Trinity United Methodist Church. We have great confidence in our legal system, and our prayers go out to those involved. Right. Always extending our prayers and our thing to those involved, right? Especially extending our thing. Very sad. You just won't get over it, man. All the fairy tales. Oh, but our soul lives on, the soul, yeah. And, of course, in heaven, you're going to be for eternity praising God. Oh, God, you're good, God.
Oh, God.
Every time you ask somebody, one of the God Squad, that's what they're going to be doing, just praising God. Praise the Lord. El Paso on that, baby. I'd rather be burning down than that roasting fire down there. At least we're going to have some pretty good time. We can barbecue some corn there, too. The corn is really special, I hear, down there. 1241 at 560 WQAM. If you earn less than $50,000 last year, like poor Josh Cordes there, who's working for like nickels and pennies and dimes, can't even afford any good dope. If your answer is yes, then it's time for a career change. Pick up the phone and call Fast Train toll-free at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. Fast Train can have you trained ready for that new high-paying career in as little as 4 short months. Fast Train offers high-demand, high-pay career training. If you love computers, ever thought of becoming a computer network professional, now's the time to get out of your rut and get a real job, make some cash. By calling Fast Train at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. The demand for computer professionals is at an all-time high right now as I speak. Fast Train can have you trained and ready for that new career in as little as 4 short months. Fast Train's got locations all over town, so no matter where you live in South Florida, there's bound to be one convenient nearby you. They're in Kendall, Miami, Pembroke Pines, and Fort Lauderdale. Fast Train offers job placement and financial aid for people who qualify. Day, evening, and weekend classes are forming right now. So if you want to make a move and get your life going on the right track, call Fast Train today. Call 1-866-FAST-TRAIN and be sure and tell them that Todd Dreck told you to call.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Timmy, why you do this to me? Please, Timmy, I'm afraid.
Jesus land, Christian park, where you won't go to hell when you die. Oh! Jesus land, Christian park, where ignorance and hatred thrive. Ride, the holy roller around. The only roller coaster that never goes down. Riding on the cannon where the hand of God reaches through the clouds to rip all your clothes off. Bang, 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 shoot it right through the truth. Bang, 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 the fortune doctors do. She can make you dumb for fun to eat, while getting bundled by a cartoon character free. Our Father in heaven, help us answer all the voices in our head. Our enemies are, we're raising our snakes for Armageddon. Come, take us away. March, march in a bush acting parade. Cool off with a new secret Guyana Kool-Aid. Ignorant chicks who wanna get their kicks. We put the fun and fundamentalists. Pray to the Lord to forgive you with your choice of flushly appointed views. Head on down to the revival show. The story of Billy heroin, Frank and Blow. Jesus land, Christian park, where you won't go to hell when you die. Jesus land, Christian park, where ignorance and hatred cry.
All right. 1226, Jim Mad, it's the old Mad Dog at 2. The Humper from the Wyndham Crystal Palace in the Bahamas, 4 to 7 this afternoon. You got Hurricane Hotline at 7. The Big who is
rock solid
between the ears, 8 to 10, Eddie K at 10 o'clock. I'm on the wrong day. I'm sorry. Like I said, Hurricane Warm-Up follows Hank at 6:30. See, the week is going by so fast as we approach Monday very rapidly. Hey, we're approaching Monday rapidly, guys. Better get a new schedule. Better figure out who's going to be on the air. Now, wouldn't you think that by tomorrow? Now, I'm sorry. Am I really saying this?
I'm waiting.
No, wouldn't you think by tomorrow we'd have a schedule? We would make an announcement. We'd have a press release. Look at Norma Kent. He sends out a press release about my re-signing, re-upping, redoing, and all of a sudden it's everywhere. I get some publicity, free publicity. This station knows nothing about publicity. All they know about is Greg calling Barry jackass. That's the extent of their publicity. The little brown bagger at the Herald, who's probably sitting on mommy's knee right now, getting spoon-fed lunch, probably yogurt and peanut butter and jelly sandwich. UM at the Georgia Tech basketball 7 tonight. Eddie K follows that. That's the correct schedule for today. And, of course, when you're at QAM, you really are never sure if you have the correct schedule or not. But it would just seem to me that it would probably be a real good idea, guys, to have a schedule for Monday come out tomorrow. It'll probably be in Sarney's column. It'll be in Barry Jackass. Wouldn't you think?
No.
We'd like to know, just for the hell of it. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Mr. Neal.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. The Democratic Party right now, why in anybody's right mind would anybody vote Democratic? A bunch of spineless wimps who can't defend anything. I mean, Ralph Nader hasn't had a chance in hell, but at least he has a goal to speak his mind.
And what is that? What did he speak his mind about? What did he say? The same old tired crap he's been saying for 30 years?
Well, you remember on the Wolf Blitzer show when he said we got to get that Bush regime out of there?
Yeah.
And Blitzer tried to correct him up. I mean, I've never even heard Clinton or Gore. I mean, thousands of votes were stolen. Yeah. And the Democratic Party sits back and puts their tail.
If you're trying to convince me that the Democrats are a bunch of spineless wimps, you're preaching to the choir, baby. Absolutely. I've been saying that for a long time. Since before Jesus was an infant, I've been saying that.
That's true. So why would anybody even want to support the Democratic? America,
Well, you see, you got to have a buffer, man. You got to keep the fascists out. That was the whole thing, and they did. And I blame them. I don't blame the other side. I blame them. They did just like they did the previous time. 2 times in a row, disaster. They're the masters of disaster.
Yeah. All right, Neil. I love your show and love George, man.
Okay, thanks, Charlie. He says he'll see you tonight around 7:30. When you can have 8 years of prosperity like we did under Bubba, when you can have a nation relatively at peace. I mean, we had a thing in Bosnia in Kosovo, we killed a bunch of people, but nevertheless, and a few bombs on Iraq. But everything is relatively copacetic. And you can wind up losing an election after that. After telling everybody it's the economy, stupid, and everything was going so well, and we had unprecedented all those new jobs. America was humming right along, and, of course, Al Gore and Jew Lieberman. And I'm still the only person in America that's going to tell you the truth. That's why that ticket didn't have a Chinaman's chance, even though they won a popular vote in the Deep South. You put an Orthodox Jew on there, especially a whiny, fanatical Orthodox Jew like Jew Lieberman, who's pathetic at best and embarrassment to the human race at worst. What chance any of those mugwumps in the South going to vote for him? Can you see the people in Tennessee voting for Jew Lieberman?
Please.
And I realize that people don't vote first for vice president, but nevertheless, when you put somebody like that, his presence is there, you know?
We don't cotton to his kind.
Yeah, that's right, his type, his kind, you know what I'm saying?
Oy!
Go back to Connecticut, all right? Go rub your tzitzis together. Go put your payas on your earlobes or whatever. Get out of our face, you crazy person, you. Well, I know that Tom Ridge is a very honorable person. He would never... Oh, get out of here. Go away. Talk about... In fact, he's the poster child for whiny and wimpy. And they made him the vice presidential candidate 4 years ago, 5, whatever it was. There he is, the poster child for whining, wimping, equivocating piece of turd, who, by the way, is on the bandwagon for the war in Iraq, thinks it's a great idea. Good God Almighty. That's the Democratic Party. This caller's right. Both parties suck. I've been telling you that for a long time. I'm not here telling you, oh, the Democrats are great. They blow. And the proof of it is they blew 2 big elections 2 times in a row. We couldn't afford the luxury of having an incompetent party like that. We were on the right track thanks to the Internet, man. Thanks to the Internet, we were definitely on the right track. And then they let us derail us, okay, over like a phonied-up videotape of, with the audio all phonied up to make it seem like Howard Dean was a loose cannon, he was a crazy person, he was irrational, When the fact of the matter is, all he was trying to do was scream over the crowd if you heard the real audio, which they didn't bother showing for about a week or 10 days later, and then ABC apologized. Well, it was really kind of like taking it out of context because you couldn't hear the crowd noise. It was a directional microphone, so all you heard was that. But, of course, that was after all the damage was done, and everybody's thinking, oh, this is a crazy person. Yeah, we better not vote for him. And as Karl Rove said later on, when all the smoke cleared, that was the guy we were really scared to death of, Howard Dean, because he wasn't an old political hack like John Kerry. He wasn't an old Washington insider like Dick Gebhardt. He wasn't one of those old hacks. He was a guy with a pair of balls, man, who told it like it was, who had the balls to go on national TV, on network TV, the day after Tom Ridge's election-geared terror warning, yellow alert, whatever the hell it was, pink alert, orange alert, and go on there and say, this was all politics, man. It's all based on crap. And then they have, and guess who it was they put on immediately following that, by the way, speaking of the devil, to debunk what he just said, Jew Lieberman. Oh, I know Tom Ridge is a very honorable man, and he would never do anything like that for political purposes. Yeah, right, blow it out your ass, Jew Lieberman. You make me embarrassed to ever have eaten a stick of halava, you phony baloney. Man, you tear my kishkis out. Although I do like good kishki.
With gravy?
God. Oh, with a gravy on it? That stuff will tear your guts out. 1252 at 560 WQM. If I'm incoherent, if I have no idea. You know what I'm talking about? That makes several of us, okay? And that's the way I like it. You just wait. You ain't heard nothing yet. Now that I re-upped on here, I'm going no holds barred, Joyce. I'm letting it all hang out. Right out there on the window. Wait till you're this, by the way, speaking of letting it all hang out.
Okay.
Indecency provisions that died last year could be making a return as soon as Representative Fred Upton, chairman of the House Telecommunications Subcommittee, has said he'll put a new bill back on the table. The Michigan Republican plans to reintroduce a bill allowing the FCC to dole out indecency fines for stations and performers. According to Broadcast and Cable, Upton's new submission will, 1, boost the maximum indecency fine from $32,500 to $500,000 per incident for stations and individuals. So in other words, if Stern played 10 farts at $500,000 apiece, that's $5 million right there. He could do that like in 6 seconds. 2, require a license revocation hearing after 3 violations. And 3, put a 180-day shot clock for FCC actions on a complaint. And 4, strike the current provision that individuals cited for indecency can get a warning but not a fine for the first offense. Kansas Republican Senator, the unctuous, the right-wing, the lunatic Sam Brownback is also expected to submit a new version of this indecency bill later this year. This is what you're dealing with under the current Nazi climate in America. That's why Howard Stern is going to Sirius. That's why we can't play fart sounds. That's why sex, like that other caller said before, that punk who called in, sex is verboten, man. We can't even say the P word or the V word or even think about it on this show. If we even think about anything like a cucumber that might look like a sexual thing, like a phallic or the shape of the state of Florida, Joyce is going to be like on the hotline, on the bat line in 2 seconds. How do you like that? Sticking her nose in our ass. It's a good thing Screw Ann ain't there anymore. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
If she found those spots, she might get nervous.
Oh.
The spots we were talking about before? I said she had spots up the right when Screw Ann was there. That's what I said.
I'm just not touching.
And we understand where they came from, too. Believe you me. Wow. I wonder, speaking of the devil, what our friend
Troy
thinks about that. Probably should have told him first.
Up front.
You were at that party, weren't you?
No,
5670560. Don't have to say anything. It's just a rhetorical question. You were there. I wonder what the hell really went on. You know. I mean, was it like I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to be... Well, she's not there anymore, so we can say whatever the hell we want. I don't want to be guilty of insubordination, get suspended. By the way, we're going to be taking a poll tomorrow in the first hour. Who will fill in for Hank on his first suspension when he goes to do morning shows? WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi. Happy New Year to you, Neil.
And the same to you, sir.
To you and the whole crew there. Listen,
you and your whole crew as well.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Live crew.
My wife and I were talking about something today, and
well, that's probably... Good. I'm glad you're speaking anyway. That's a good sign.
Well, she only knows one thing. She only knows not one thing, not the kitchen, if you know what I mean. We're talking about Henny Youngman.
Mm-hmm.
We were just curious. This gets overlooked. When do you think the statute of limitations runs out as far as saying to your neighbors, to your friends, your coworkers, Happy New Year? I'll hang up and listen. Love you.
Okay, thanks. The statute of limitations, that's right near the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
I think what he's trying to say is when's a good time. I think right now is a good idea.
Right.
Thank you very much, sir. You committed a very serious and important public service there. I think January the 6th at 12:56 p.m. is a sensational time to say, okay, it's like the people that were calling in December, wish me a happy birthday. I'm sorry, my birthday's on November the 5th. And I not that I'm an ungrateful bastard, although actually I am, but it's just the idea that it doesn't mean anything anymore, you know? It loses the significance. Plus, you don't have to wish me a happy birthday. When you get to be my age, it's not a happy birthday. Believe you me, every birthday is one giant leap closer to the box, okay? It's not like a happy occasion.
No, you should look at it as an accomplishment.
No. Well, what does that mean, an accomplishment?
Words, you're still alive.
Your cells are dying and that your skin is rotting.
Still alive.
And your hands, you look at your hands and you're starting to get like your skin is starting to get flabby and loose.
Think of all the people you outlived.
Your big fat is dropping down to where your knees used to be.
Reggie White died at 43. See,
well, good. That's the best news I've heard, okay?
You got
big,
made another
nasty, rotten lunatic with his scamble soup, man. That'll teach you kids out there to be eating too much of that scamble soup. Or your fate will be just like Reggie White. I'll tell you, the Lord's smitten him, man. He smote him. He smit him because he was full of smit.
Smote him if you got him.
That's right. The Lord let him have it, baby, full barrels. That's why he didn't wake up. He said, I'm so sick and tired of your pontificating in my name and spewing nothing but hatred and intolerance and stupidity, ignorance, and sitting there reading, poring over the Bible and all this crap written by ignoramuses 5,000 years ago who didn't know their ass from my elbow. But give me the ball, give me the ball. See, that's what we're supposed to admire him for. He's a football player. Well, who gives a flying crap about that, huh? Just like Pat Tillman. I mean, so he died a hero, et cetera, and so on, and he could have continued playing football, and he wanted to, defend his country in Afghanistan, wherever they sent him. But the fact of the matter is there are a lot of other faceless people who weren't football players who were just as brave, maybe braver, and they died too. We don't hear a damn thing about them, except every night on the CBS Evening News for about 10 seconds when Dan Rather shows a picture of another guy who's dead now, or woman, who's dead now because of the butcher of D.C. They keep talking about the butcher of Baghdad. Forget about him. We got the butcher of D.C. Boy, you better calm me down a little bit.
Well, I can't pour water on you from here.
Just a little bit.
Calm down.
No. If you decided to start the new year off right and trim down with Atkins or South Beach or Sugar Busters or any low-carb, sugar-free diet, then head for Delights of West Boca. Even TV's biggest weight losers are following a low-carb diet, and their weight loss is absolutely incredible. For years, Delights has helped thousands of low-carb dieters achieve their weight loss goals. Delights of West Boca is your low-carb, one-stop shop for the right supplements and the best selection and the best-tasting low-carb foods, which, of course, is most important of all to keep you on a straight and narrower path. Stop in and sample any of their over 1,200 low-carb products like their new chocolate-dipped cheesecake on a stick. Well, that sounds really good. And their famous Carbolite soft serve ice cream. The staff at Delights knows low-carb dieting inside and out. They're open every day till 10 p.m. And don't forget, at Delights, they offer you their guaranteed lowest price policy on all Atkins, Carbolite, and Pure Delight products.
All of these things.
That is correct. Delights of West Boca guarantees they will not be undersold. You'll find them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441 right next to Boston Market. Or call them toll-free at 1-877-LOW-CARB, L-O-W-C-A-R-B, or on the wicked web at lowcarb.com. There's only one Delights of West Boca. It's an incredible store for all you fat folks out there. It's your official Atkins retail center.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM. Hey, buttheads, it's the 1 to 2 hour.
Loretta's back and more popular than ever.
Got it. You can take that to the bank, man.
It's a classic tale of good cop, bad cop.
And you and me, we're gonna dance, brother.
Only this time, it's the same cop.
Hey, Rooster, what's the word on the street, bud?
Well, everybody's saying you did it, Tony.
Oh, is that right? Well, let me tell you something, brother. You gotta pay the fare if you want to take the ride.
Now, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
I'll tell you what it means, man. It means I hired a real expensive mouthpiece-type lawyer who's gonna get me off the hook, man.
Loretta, back on TV.
all day, every day on every cable news channel.
Dead's dead, man. You got that? And it don't come back again.
Yeah, 7 every 15 minutes on MSNBC.
Can it, Rooster?
So to watch Beretta 24 hours a day, keep your TV on and keep your eye on the Sparrow.
And that's the name of that tune. Right, Fred? You killed him. Shut up, bird brain. I'm the heat. I'll whack you, too.
103 at 560 WQM. She had it coming. You're right. The bitch had it coming. Let's move on with other important stuff.
Right. Just let him go.
Okay, here's the deal on the poll. What do you think was the best movie of 2004? We really haven't added much to that. We got a long list. 434 votes, plus nobody's going to catch Fahrenheit 11. It's got 188 votes. It's got almost half of the votes in the whole poll. Passion of the Christ is tied with Shrek 2 for second. And, of course, they're both fantasy movies, 33, both fairy tales. Spider-Man 2, 27. Team America, 22. I hear that's got a lot of young naked puppets in it.
Yes, it does.
Meet the Fockers, 19. Or is that Folkers? The Incredible, 17. Kill Bill Volume 2, 16. The Born Supremacy, 14, with the wide-mouthed Matt Bourne Dillon. Garden State, 10. Sideways, 9. The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, 8. Collateral, 7. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, 6. You said I would like that?
No, I did not.
Oh. Polar Express, it's a drug movie.
Right.
Polar Express, 4. $1 Million Baby, 4. Before Sunset, still only got 3. Oh, poor Ethan Hawke and what's her name? Closer, 3. Collateral, 2. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, 2. The Aviators only got a small pair, Carolyn. This crowd don't like Leo DiCaprio, okay? We don't want any part of him. We don't want to smell him. We don't want to know him. We don't want to even see him ever again, Leo. Kinsey, 2. Dogville's got 1. Riding Giants has got 1. And the House of Flying Daggers has 1. You can add some more if you want this hour or not, as the case may be. Whatever you like. We are easy on this show. Let's see. Neil, can you get C-SPAN? They're counting electoral votes. Boxer is contesting. We know that. We talked about that 2 hours ago, for crying out loud, 2.5 hours ago. That Barbara Boxer was signing the resolution and to contest to not certify the election results in Ohio. We know that, sir. Thank you very much, Fred. Also, see Tucker Carlson. I hope you're not faxing me that, because I know that. I did not tell you before the show. Tucker Carlson is getting axed by CNN. He's all done. And Crossfire is toast as well, which is probably a great thing. And I'm sure Jon Stewart is very pleased about it as well. Thank God. Crossfire! What's Bob Novak going to do? He ought to be on death row also. How's Valerie Plame doing? You know how we don't never hear another word about that again?
Nope.
All of the scandals, man. Those secret energy meetings, Enron, Valerie Plame, Joseph Wilson, all of these things, man.
All of these things.
Just skate right on by. Talk about the Teflon presidency. It's the Teflon Nazis is what it is. Even Hogan's Heroes would be amused at this. Richard Dawson, who else was on that show?
Bob Crane, of course. Hogan.
Bob Crane, he's still dead, by the way, and he's still doing all that porno stuff.
Klemperer.
Werner Klemperer, right. Werner Klemperer, I think he's in a new cabinet, isn't he?
You understand the Gestapo keeps track of everyone.
Way ahead of you, man. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Few things. I guess congratulations on your contract extension.
Well, why do you say that so reservedly? So I
because
understand we've had
the
some problems.
The rest of the nation is missing your great work. That's why.
Yeah, I'm going to make a big difference, man.
No.
I'm going to change the world, man.
I didn't say change the world, Neil. I just love your show.
Yeah, but let me say this to you. There's no reason in the world why XM or Sirius couldn't pick up this show. They're picking up other so-called terrestrial shows now because they have a dearth of material to fill their programming. They could pick us up anytime they want.
So you and Norma don't have to jump through hoops to have that happen?
Well, I mean, they approached me. They approached us already a couple of months ago, so there still could be more discussion with that.
Right. And it's good that Barbara, she always had a pair, but she put them out on the table.
You bet.
Right on, Neil.
Thanks a lot, Pally.
Later.
They're so depressed. What's he so depressed about? Just like that last show before vacation when all this... Oh, and of course the one was definitely a setup call about Don Buchwald and, you ought to do this. And get out of here. Go run your own life, okay? If Sirius would have wanted to be serious, if they wanted to live up to their name and make a deal, they didn't have to make it. All they had to do was say, well, as soon as we get, we'll do this. They didn't say that. They didn't even put a tentative anything out there. It's like, well, we'll talk again. Well, that's great. We'll talk again. Fine. Whatever you say, Jeremy. They don't seem real serious to me, and who knows if it's going to fly or not. I'm not interested in being like Marco Polo at this advanced age. Don't you understand? I'm very happy with my life right now. I'm looking out there at the snow. It's nice and toasty and warm in here. When the show is over at 2 o'clock, I'm going to go out and get some Nestle's Turtle ice cream with the new little turtles in it. Yeah. About a half a gallon would be good.
Going to do some more plunging?
No, not today. After that episode, listen, I'm going to tell you something, man. It's like somebody goes to the track every day. A gambler, if you keep pushing your luck and going too much, you guarantee you're going to lose.
Right.
Since I came back after vacation, I've been very, very lucky, and I'm not going to continue pressing my luck. I have a limited schedule. In addition to which, if you saw the roads and what it's like here right now, this would not be a good day to be hopping in a cab and venturing out. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is a good day to go and get like a big tub, an industrial-sized tub of ice cream, or maybe buy a nice CD or rent a movie at HMV, and then that's it. Lock yourself in the rest of the day. Speaking of diets, wasn't I just talking about that, eating ice cream?
Yep.
I do like ice cream. Candy, if I had to narrow it down, candy I could live without. If I never, not that I don't like it, like a crunchy, with that honeycomb that I was telling you about. But if I never had that again, I could survive that. But ice cream, man, I'm obsessed. And I think I have, like, lactose intolerance. I think, because I don't drink milk. Milk is bad for you, by the way. Other animals don't drink other animals' milk. Man is the only animal on the face of the globe that drinks the milk of another animal. So if you like milk, drink human milk. Well, we don't want to get into that.
Too late.
Only 1 in 4 people can stick to a diet for a full year. A study comparing adherence to weight loss programs said Tuesday. See, this is another one of those very profound studies. Everybody's doing studies. And, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these are government subsidized and we're paying our tax money for these stupid-ass studies. In the study, 4 groups of 40 overweight or obese fat slobs each were assigned to 1 of 4 weight loss programs. The Atkins low-carb diet, the Ornish vegetarian, the Weight Watchers plan, or the Zone. Dr. Barry Sears, no relation to Gene J. or Brian Sears? Participants were enrolled in 2-month classes to help them and then were on their own. We found that all 4 diets worked well for weight loss and heart disease risk factor reduction, but only in the people who could follow their diet closely for a year, said study author Dr. Michael Dansinger of Tufts New England Medical Center in Boston. Did I tell you about Boston and Brigham's ice cream? Oh, God, is that good stuff. Wow. Man. 3 and 4 participants quit their diets before the year was out. See, there I go with that ice cream again. I'm obsessed. I'm an ice cream addict, and I admit it. I need some help. Forget about the gambling thing. I don't need to go there. If I wanted to stop tomorrow, no problem. I can live without it. But ice cream, I can't live without. Like Snickers ice cream. It's not very good. The one thing I've discovered is the ice creams like with the candy flavors, like M&M. Have you ever seen M&M ice cream?
I think I've seen it. I don't think I've had it.
Yeah. And what are some of the other ones? Carmelo. They're not good.
Well, the Heath Bar Crunch is good. It's got
Heath
Bars in it. Like Ben & Jerry's, remember? The toffee?
Oh, yeah, but that's Ben & Jerry's. There is no bad Ben & Jerry's flavor, except vanilla. But I'll tell you, the Coffee Toffee Crunch, that is, that should be illegal. They're making drugs illegal. Coffee Toffee Crunch is so addictive that there's nothing in the world that even even heroin isn't in the same league with it, okay? And anybody who thinks I'm making that up, you're crazy. Sugar is addictive. It's the number one killer of fat and the stroke and heart attack. There is no question in my mind about it. I don't care what anybody else tells you about fat, dietary fat. You're full of crap, okay? You're full of fat. Overall, successful dieters lost an average of 5% of their body weight, or roughly 10 to 20 pounds after 1 year, and 1 in 10 dieters lost more than 10% of their weight, or more than 25 pounds. Dansinger, writing in the Journal of the American Medical Association, said no single diet worked for everyone, especially low-carb diets like Atkins that are in vogue. It's interesting. One day they tell you, oh, the low-carb diets are out, and then the next day they're back in. Why would they be out? You see, low-carb diets don't work if you're eating ice cream in between. It's like the Beast when he was doing Balance for Life, but he was also eating his regular food in addition to it. See, he thought it was like not in place of your other food, but like in addition to it. So he'd go out and gorge on 4 of those monster burgers and stuff like that, and 6 orders of fries and onion rings, and then he would have 6 double orders of baba ganoush. What a pig he is, it's disgusting. I'm a pig, but not in that league. He's nauseating. And then, of course, Zach, that used to be with us, it's with Joe Rose over there at the other place right now. Zach's a good guy, but another pig. Am I right?
Well,
no, he is. He's a pig. They would bring in food from Howie's there in the morning. He would eat the food for 4 people before the other people even saw that it was there, which he did just to make sure they didn't get it. The good guy. Listen, you can be a good guy and still be a pig. Just ask Don DeLuise. He'll tell you. To find the diet that's best for you, says this bogus latest piece of crap, try dating the diets as if looking for a lifelong partner. You may kiss a few frogs along the way. Oh, God. Especially if you go to Montreal, you might kiss a few frogs. But once you find the one you can live with forever, stand by your plan. Oh, can't you hear that song right now? Tammy Wynette, Stand By Your Plan. Can't you hear it? Hey, Tammy, how you doing, honey? Isn't she dead?
She must be.
Might as well be. That country music, man, that is just... The report came on the heels of another study published Monday in the Annals of the Internal Medicine that concluded no one really knows... This is great! We finally got the answer that a lot of us have been searching for, all us fat desperados. You want to hear it?
Okay.
The Annals of Internal Medicine study concludes that no one really knows which diets work and which ones are a waste of time, with the possible exception of Weight Watchers, which had scientific research to back its approach. Nobody knows the trouble we've seen. How do you like that? That's something?
That's
For
something.
the first time, the medical profession being a little bit honest.
You're listening to
Grave robbers,
Rogers.
butchers, murderers,
QAM.
How young is too young?
She ran for governor, but couldn't win an election that even Bush could fix. So what's Janet Reno doing now?
Welcome to the Janet Reno Foosball Arcade. It's much more than just a pastime with dusty old machines in the back of the bowling alley. These are state-of-the-art regulation-sized foosball gaming tables for the most serious of foosball fans to hone their skills. Try out for the Foosball Super Bowl, where you can challenge current champions Ozzy Osbourne and Michael J. Fox. Or just relax in our dining area with nourishment provided by Shakey's Pizza and Steak and Shake. Top your meal off with a creamy Shake-a-Pudding. Your children will be amused by the broken animatron puppet of Don Shula.
I love stem cells. They love me. Let's have more brain stems for me. Let's have more research on them, please. You just can't have enough.
Watch me ride the perfect storm boat, where I can stand perfectly still. Or try your luck at my shake-and-bake cook-off and paint-mixing competition.
You can see this old fella's been keeping busy. The Reno Foosball Arcade. For reservations, call now. 1-800-DICK-VAN Dyke. That's 1-800-DICK-VAN Dyke.
117 at 560 WQAM. Police are checking suspicious device at Doral City Hall. I'll tell you the worst one that gets them really freaked out is a backpack, you know. And I realize it's revolutionary if somebody forgets and leaves a backpack laying behind, like, you know, at a school or somewhere. Dade Police and Fire Rescue were called to Doral City Hall around 11:20 this morning because of a bomb threat. Officials said a small device with some wires visible was found at the building at 8300 Northwest 53rd Street. That's on the Herald website. And no more details yet, but I'm sure that our crack QM news department will keep you abreast of that situation all day long, right?
Right.
I still can't get over the fact that when we started working on this, I can't believe it. Even 7 years later. And it came time for, like, news at the top of the hour, and we were doing, like, sports updates. That was our idea of the news. Like the day that kid called in, we were in the middle of a discussion about saving the world from itself, and the kid calls in, "Oh, Wanky's got a broken foot. Wanky's got a broken foot." Remember that?
No.
Well, of course not. You wouldn't know Chris Wanky from,
Are we allowed to say that anymore?
No, we can't say Wanky. Oh, sorry, Joyce. Sorry, Chris, whatever his name was. Got a broken foot. Like, we care about that stupid crap, okay? Grow up already. Will you freaking get a life?
I have no life.
You silly juvenile jackass. God. An Australian suspect held by the U.S. in Guantanamo Bay has alleged he was tortured by water and electrodes during interrogation in Egypt. Egyptian board Mamdou Habib, a Sydney father of four, is one of two Australians held by the U.S. following his capture in Pakistan in 2002. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation said it obtained previously sealed court documents detailing Habib's claims of torture while in custody in Egypt before his move to Cuba. According to the papers, Habib alleged his captors filled his room with water until it was just below his chin, forcing him to stand on tiptoe for hours. Habib also alleged he was suspended from hooks on the wall of his cell with his feet resting on a large drum into which an electric current flowed from wires apparently attached to a battery. If he did not give the answer his captors wanted, they threw a switch and a jolt of electricity would run through the drum, forcing him to dance on it. Habib alleged in the documents, according to ABC. The claims were made to his lawyer several weeks ago amid suggestions that U.S. authorities were considering returning him to Egypt. Yeah, if you think you've seen torture, just wait. Habib is one of 15 detainees considered eligible by the U.S. government to face trial by a military commission. His case, along with that of fellow Australian detainee David Hicks, has been a cause célèbre in Australia, as the Conservative government has done little to press the U.S. to return either to Australia for trial. Prime Minister John Howard has been one of U.S. President George W. Bush's staunchest allies in the war against terror and the invasion of Iraq. Well, what does that tell you about those Aussies, huh? It's probably a Brit thing, you know. The Brits said, oh, yeah, well, we'll join you in because we got naked pictures of Tony Blair and a billy goat and Prince Charles is the pivot man. And so as a result of that, the Aussies will do whatever the Brits want. They're still under their thumb. Just like in Canada, we still got the Queen on the $20 bill. What the hell's that all about, eh? Get the Queen off of there. Cut the umbilical cord, for Christ's sakes. And what did she call it when she has that speech every year? It was like a couple of weeks ago.
I don't know.
just some stupid ass speech on the state of the empire, about Las Malvinas and whatever's left, and they actually carried it on TV here. Who wants to see that silly old prissy bitch with her little tiny purse and those plaid dresses? My God, she looks like Mo Howard David on a bad day. Good God Almighty. Are the British ever going to grow up? No. Will they ever outgrow that silly... I mean, there are countries that have, royalty as figureheads. Like Holland has got that, and like Denmark, I think. It's just for fun. It's pomp and circumcise. But the Brits just can't. They cannot escape from that crap, Mm-hmm. They just... And the tabloids obsessed with William did this one and Harry did that. Who cares? Who gives a crap? Most of them are a bunch of flaming fags anyway, so who cares? 5670560. Let's get a few more movies on this list. I feel like we probably sold some short, don't you?
We must have.
There must have been thousands of great movies in 2004. I didn't see any of them. Just a couple. Pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
George?
This is George, yeah.
Neil, hi.
All right.
My nephew wants to join the Army. Didn't you guys have on your website something showing pictures of the soldiers that were, hurt?
The wounded?
Yeah.
The recuperating wounded?
Right.
Yeah.
We did.
Can you, where can I find that? I want to show it to him.
Do a search.
Yeah, do a search.
But I don't, what do I put in there?
Wounded American soldiers.
Wounded American soldiers. It doesn't have to be on our website. I'm sure that all over the net you'll find plenty of grotesque pictures that should convince you. Is it your nephew, you said?
All right. If he dropped out of college, he wants to join the Army. I want him to see reality.
Yeah, exactly. Wake him up before they bring him home in a box, pal.
All righty.
Okay, good luck to you. Okay. How do you like that? Wants to join the Army. Maybe he's suicidal. What do you think? That must be it.
Maybe he's stupid. That's why he dropped out of college.
That could be it. Oh, no, he wants to serve his country. Yeah, well, if you want to serve your country, do something productive, okay, which is not going to Iraq to get yourself killed.
And to kill people who didn't
And to kill a bunch of people that didn't do anything to us, okay? Right. Kill a bunch of people that just, want to live their lives and weren't, quite frankly, doing all that bad. We're doing a hell of a lot better before we went in there in March of last year.
Yeah, they weren't blowing up somehow.
Huh?
They weren't blowing up before.
No, that's right. They were still alive, which is more than we can say for thousands of them.
Since the late 1800s. This is an objection by Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones of Ohio and Senator Barbara Boxer of California. There's a public law that indicates in the event of an objection, which has to be in writing, submitted at the time the ballot from the particular state in question is opened, both sides of the House and Senate will retire to their separate chambers, debate the issue of the objection for up to 2 hours, then presumably dispose of it and come back and continue with the counting. This, of course, is something both Boxer and Stephanie Tubbs Jones say is simply a protest to try to draw attention to questions surrounding the election in Ohio. There are a number of questions raised, particularly by House Judiciary Ranking Member John Conyers, who's raised questions about the number of ballot machines that were available, the exceptionally long lines for voting in Ohio, as well as some rulings by the Secretary of State related to the election in Ohio, all of which Democrats say raise questions about the vote in that state. No one I've heard yet insofar has suggested they think President Bush did not, in fact, win Ohio by a fairly substantially some of over 100,000 votes. Nonetheless, they want to raise attention to this. They're also doing this in part because 4 years ago, there were a number of House members, particularly members of the Congressional Black Caucus, who wanted someone on the Senate side to raise the objection so this issue could be debated. They were not able to find a single senator who would do that, partly because Al Gore asked senators not to do it. That also was an issue where a number of media, really, a lot of people have said, underreported the story. All of this, of course, came out in the movie Fahrenheit 9/11.
There you go. It just happens to be your favorite movie of 2004 overwhelmingly. What a nice segue. Thank you so much. 205 votes, 41% plus of this audience, that's their favorite movie. They said the best movie of last year. And that was my vote. George, of course, he voted for Tutti Berry. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless lines. This crap about, there's no question that he won it by a right. Nobody questions that he won it fair and square. He stole it fair and square just like he did last time. That's why all those exit polls showed him losing the damn election, and Ohio, and Florida, too, while we're at it, Glenda in the hood. And Teresa, poor Teresa. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Howard Stern is leaving on Friday. That's the last day, isn't it?
Tomorrow's his last day on QAM.
Why is it that they keep running the promos every day? Now, even today they're running promos that he's going to be there.
Yeah.
What's
Because
going
he's going
on?
to be on one more day. I'm sure that after 10 o'clock tomorrow, although I'm not sure of that either, because knowing the way this place operates, they'll probably be running Howard Stern promos for 2 weeks. Yeah, they probably will.
Thanks.
You better understand what you're listening to, man. This is us.
I understand. I love you, Neil.
Good luck, Pally. Incompetence is us. That's our middle name. I mean, we run promos for ball games that were played 6 months ago. Hey, it's just the way we do it, okay? Who cares? Just give us the frickin' money.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Town at 560 WQAM. Soonie's gonna get you. Sooner or later, the Soonie's gonna get you. Sooner or later, the Soonie's gonna get you. The Soonie's gonna get you. In the war you'll never win. Resistance is what you'll find when you commit genocide with the blueprint of Nazi occupation. Iraqis try to defend their home against us instead of the Saudis that deserve retaliation. Sooner or later, the Soonie's gonna get you. The Soonie's gonna get you. In the war you'll never win. You leave no child behind by sending them off to die in a war that's insane and homicidal. We're simply not genocide. It's got the people you fight with nothing to lose. Get suicidal. Jesus was God. The fuse was God. Jesus was God. Go away, and the meat for labels of excitement. Don't surprise me, this lies wash away human lives. I'm a toxic of how they can return it. Sooner or later, the Soonie's gonna get you. Sooner or later, the Soonie's gonna get you. Sooner or later, the Soonie's gonna get you. Sooner or later, the Soonie's gonna get you.
I hate to tell you this, but I guess he created a little extra work, which is fine, because with all these Christmas discs coming in. I beg your pardon?
I told him not to.
Because these both, I played them both today, Jesus Land and Sooner or Later, which are two of my favorite Book of Brian bits for the last 800 years, and they both sound distorted now, which they did not sound before. They sounded better before.
Well, then play the originals. I told him, don't do anything.
Well, what do you mean play the originals? I replaced them in there, so now I'm going to have to re-replace them there, which is going to take me at least 4 or 5 minutes work. See, you're making me work real hard for my money.
I'm never saying anything again.
No, I don't know what the problem was. They were great. You didn't hear
I
that
made
one
a
sound?
statement in passing. I said the music was a little hot on some of those, and some of the lyrics were hard to understand the first time through. And you know Brian, in case you don't know Brian, he had a nervous breakdown and went and recut him, even though I begged him not to.
What did Rumsfeld know, says the Village Voice's Nat Hentoff. The President insists that Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld will remain in office, and on December 19, Bush's Chief of Staff, Andrew Carr, Jr., said on ABC News this week that Secretary Rumsfeld is doing a spectacular job, and the President has great confidence in him. However, on December 9th, Senator Jeff Bingaman, Democrat of New Mexico, wrote Rumsfeld to express his deep concern over issues related to detainees being held in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Recent reports indicate that not only were detainees mishandled and interrogated in a manner inconsistent with the Geneva Conventions, but that subsequent internal reports of abuse appear to have been suppressed. While the abuse of detainees is unacceptable under any circumstance, reports of the suppression of evidence regarding abuse are extremely disturbing, he wrote. Please inform me of the actions you intend to take. As of this writing, there's been no response. For 2 years in this column, as well as from human rights groups and the press, especially the reporting of Dana Priest in the Washington Post, there's been mounting evidence of torture of prisoners by American forces, including ghost prisoners in secret CIA interrogation centers. These reports include stories of extreme interrogation techniques used by special operation forces, Navy SEALs, Delta Force, etc., under the direction of Donald Rumsfeld and his close associates in the Defense Department. Rumsfeld has long encouraged the use of special operation forces. But now, with the release by the ACLU of actual government documents not intended for the public to see, the President's confronted with irrefutable evidence of continued violations of not only the 1949 Geneva Conventions and UN Convention Against Torture, but also our own torture statute forbidding such practices. As for the suppression of evidence, there is this December 8th report in the New York Sun by Paisley Dodds of the AP on the documents released by the ACLU. U.S. Special Forces accused of abusing prisoners in Iraq monitored email messages sent by troubled defense personnel in the field and ordered them not to talk to anyone in America about what they saw. U.S. Navy documents released by the ACLU include interviews with Navy personnel about routine abusive treatment of detainees by U.S. Marines in Iraq. In one interview, a Navy medical officer described the regular process by which Iraqis classified as enemy prisoners of war would be taken to an empty swimming pool, handcuffed, leg-cuffed, and have a burlap bag placed over their head. They would then remain in a kneeling position for up to 24 hours awaiting interrogation. Despite this description, the Navy medical officer stated that he never saw any instances of physical abuse toward the detainees. And from Richard Serrano in the December 15th L.A. Times, Marines in Iraq conducted mock executions of juvenile prisoners last year, burned and tortured other detainees with electrical shocks, and warned a Navy corpsman they would kill him if he treated any injured Iraqis. That was one of the stories based on documents released by the ACLU through a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit that was joined by Physicians for Human Rights, Veterans for Common Sense, Veterans for Peace, and the Center for Constitutional Rights. The latter organization has compiled a massively documented indictment of Donald Rumsfeld, former CIA Director George Tenet, and other U.S. officials and military personnel for war crimes perpetuated against Iraq detainees at Abu Ghraib. The charges have been filed at the German Federal Prosecutor's Office at the Karlsruhe Court in Karlsruhe, Germany, where under the doctrine of universal jurisdiction, suspected war criminals may be prosecuted irrespective of where they're located. After the photographs of the repellent Abu Ghraib abuses were circulated around the world, the President attributed those atrocities to a few bad apples in the lower ranks of the military. One of those bad apples is Lindy England, your girlfriend, the soldier smiling, pointing to the genitals of a prisoner at Abu Ghraib and holding a naked prisoner by a leash. She could face a prison term of up to 38 years, but how long will Donald Rumsfeld and other august officials in the Defense Department, along with administration lawyers who provided contorted permission to these crimes, avoid accountability? How many members of Congress will join Senator Jeff Bingaman in his attempt to open the Defense and Justice Departments to the rule of American law? Will we hear from New York Senators Schumer and Clinton, who have been silent on the question of torture, or will a judgment on Rumsfeld et al. Be made only in Germany? Will the President speak about an FBI agent's account released by the ACLU on December 20th of interrogations at Guantanamo in which detainees were shackled hand and foot in a fetal position on the floor and kept in that position 18 to 24 hours at a time until most had urinated or defecated on themselves? Writes Nat Head-Off in the Village Voice. And, of course, a lot of Americans are saying, well, that's all right, they're the evildoers. Whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes. Safety, safety, safety. Right? Isn't that what we're concerned about? That's our number one priority. Safety, safety, safety.
Those heretics shouldn't have attacked us.
I hope she chokes on her matzah brei. How do you like that? I hope she gets a matzah ball stuck deep in her throat and gags on it. Safety, safety, safety. No wonder people can't stand Barbara Streisand, you know? Or the nanny. How's that poll coming, speaking of the nanny? I like the guy that was called before but suggesting the themes. We haven't done that in a long time.
Right.
By now the audience forgot about it. Don't you think that's a good idea?
It's a great idea.
Now that we got my two CD desks working so well. What do you think was the best movie of 2004? They're not that crazy about this poll. I mean, there's a whole lot of other ones we could put on there, but they won't give any votes. I mean, I've got 150 of them from the 6th Annual Film Critics Poll here in the Village Voice, but why bother putting them all on there and making a lot of work for Josh, right?
Yeah, make him call.
519 votes. I think we'll put the whole list on there just because you said that. Fahrenheit 9/11-218, Passion of the Christ 39, wow. Shrek 2 37, Spider-Man 2 34, all the sequels all the time. Meet the Fockers 27. How about Focker 2? That's coming.
I ain't saying nothing.
Team America 23, got some real hot puppets. Kill Bill Volume 2, C-22, all the twos all the time. The Incredible, bet the 2 horse, okay? Just go bet the 2 horse somewhere. I don't know where, but bet the 2. The Incredibles 20, Born Supremacy 19, Sideways 12, Garden State 10, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind 9, and after that's like pretty far downhill. How about Before Sunset? Still only got 3. It's not our audience's kind of movie, you know. It's like syrupy, romantic. It's just not their kind of movie. They like more intellectual stuff like Shrek 2.
Right.
WQAM, hello.
Money Con.
WQAM, hello. QAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing today, buddy?
Okay, Pally.
Welcome back and Happy New Year.
All right, you just missed the deadline for Happy New Year's by about an hour and a half, but back to you.
Hey, listen, Michael Moore is a fantastic human being. I'm proud to be an American as long as I can be like him.
Amen.
All right?
Thank you, Pally. He's the one guy I admire, man.
Okay, man.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Him and you. Right? That's the one person we admire, Michael Moore. We like Howard Dean a lot, too. He should have been a man, man. It just breaks my heart. Just breaks my heart. Huh?
John Stewart's getting
We like John Stewart a lot. That's right. Who else do we like? That's about it.
That's it. Barbara Boxer.
Ted Kennedy.
Right. Russ Feingold.
Joe Biden. Man, Biden was like really ripping into Alberto Jose Jimenez Gonzalez this morning. It was great. Ripping him an ass. He was just sawing right down between the cheeks. It was a beautiful thing, man. It was just like watching in Fargo, man, that wood chipper. Yeah, in fact, Gonzalez didn't look too chipper when he finished with the question.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
Thank you for calling. This is T. Tony. How may I help you?
I just picked up my 92 Accord from your lot, and there is a huge turd in the back seat.
A huge turd?
Yes.
And there's what in the back seat?
A turd. A big-ass human turd in the back seat of my car.
Ma'am, I assure you, our guys did not take a dump in your car. If you want to, bring that car back and we'll take a look at it.
You want to take a look at it? My car is fine. It's that big-ass turd in the back seat.
Okay, what would you like me to do?
I said, okay, how about I go to your house and pitch a loaf on your couch? How about that?
Ma'am, what would you like me to do to fix the situation?
I want somebody to come over here, get this turd out my back seat.
That's not going to happen.
Car. What do you mean it's not going to happen?
You can bring the car here and we can take a look at it.
I am. I'm going to bring it back there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a dump in every last car you got there. I'm going to pee on your counter. I'm going to do it all to show you how it feels.
Okay.
And you know what? You sound like a big burly man. It probably came out your ass.
Oh, yeah, I don't make it a habit of going out and taking a dump in the car.
How much do you weigh?
About 400 pounds.
That's your turd. That's
my turd, huh?
Yes.
That came up from a 400-pound man, huh?
This is a 400-pound man. Either that or a gorilla.
Okay.
I'm driving this car right to my lawyer's office, and I'm going to let the whole world see. You're going to be on the news this evening, buddy. I'm going to get 7 on my side. Watch. You're going to be on the news.
Can you describe the piece of shit? I mean, what does it look like?
You know what it is. It came out your ass. What the hell? What kind of asking me what color? I tell you what, it smells ungodly. That's what it smells like. Smells like you sold your ass to the devil. That came from the pits of hell.
Well, how big is it? How long is it?
It's not as long as my arm. I don't think it's fun. Why y'all? This is not fun. I got a damn 2x4 in my back seat. You know, I think this some racial shit too. That's what this is. Little kids are running away from it.
Oh my.
I'm glad y'all find this funny.
Okay.
You probably on the steering wheel too, don't you?
All right. How long does it look like it's been sitting there?
Steve is coming off of it, okay?
Steam is coming off of it?
Yes.
It couldn't be there that long then, huh?
I am taking it's a fresh turd.
Okay. What you need to do is you need to bring that turd back, and we'll match it up. We got a lineup. We'll match it up with the other turds that we have.
Well, what you need to do is learn how to use a toilet.
So you're not going to bring the turd back to me?
No. You know what?
Is this a sample?
No. I'm starting to like it.
Going to keep it as a fact?
I'm going to keep it because it's a nice look. You know what? It's a nice conversation piece.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thank you, brother.
A nice conversation piece of what? 145. Oh, speaking of that, nice fax from Bobby. Bobby.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, he said something about doo-doo. Well, no, he just, don't you understand, it was just an excuse. For example, we'll just use this as an excuse to put the F word on our poll today. What the F do we know? You can put the whole F word because it's actually the title of the movie. You're familiar with that movie, What the F Do We Know?
Never heard of it.
No.
Oh, well, here's the review of it. Just use the whole F word in there. There's the excuse for putting the F word on a poll today. We always need some excuse. Someone must have read Sophie's World, decided that a movie about quantum physics as applied to the life of an emotionally troubled woman would appeal to a similar ticket-buying demographic. Hence the movie What the F Do We Know, which might just as well have been entitled Amanda's World, or still better, Better Living Through Weird Science. The story of Amanda, Marley Matlin, a bummed-out deaf photographer sharing her apartment with a sunny, pigtailed friend, Elaine Hendricks, is interwoven with commentary from physicists, theologians, psychiatrists, and physicians of various specialties, and Ramtha, a spirit who's being channeled through a medium, blonde hair, bright red power frau suit, stentorian speaking style. Surely the dress sense belongs to the ethereal being, too, in order to bestow his galactic wisdom to we ignorant earthlings. The movie is promoted as being about the mysteries of quantum physics, and it boasts visual effects designed to give us graphic representations of the true nature of matter. Electron clouds swirling around hard-knotted little kernels of information, single photons appearing to be in two places at one time, and perhaps too readily available conceit that our universe may be, in fact, a giant holodeck. Blue grid lines, instantly recognizable to any Star Trek fan as holodeck grids, waver and congeal like holy nimbuses around Amanda. She confronts various possible alternatives to her life. And it goes on and on. It sounds like a Sood thing to me.
Sure does.
Well, you Soods out there, what the F do we know, right?
That description's got me dizzy.
Huh? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm reaching back here for your latest fact from Barry. Barry says, thank God we're finally getting the real truth about all the diets out there. I've been on every one of them. The only thing that got lighter was my wallet. 2 years ago, I finally got wise, had laparoscopic bariatric surgery, the bypass. No staples, no bands, but a new stomach created skillfully through small surgical incisions. Oh, I love the way Barry spells incisions. I'm now 155 pounds lighter. I've never felt better and have a new lease on life. Yes, surgery is a serious step, but so is losing weight. Hey, Barry, a little help on the spelling couldn't hurt, okay? If you want the real results, this is the way to go. Losing weight requires real choices. What choice do you want to make? Signed, Barry in Boca. How do you like that? Do you think this is for real?
Yeah.
Is real?
Sure. We've had faxes from Barry before.
We have?
Sure.
Barry? Oh, you never saw All Fall Down with Warren Beatty.
I might have.
And Brandon DeWilde before he got killed. Well, I sure like Brandon DeWilde, man. Not in that movie when he was like 5 years old. What was that movie?
Shane?
Shane, yeah. All Fall Down with Carl Malden was in it. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Poll today, which do you think was the best movie of 2004? The result of the poll turns out to be kind of a dud because Fahrenheit 9/11 wins by so far with this crowd. It's not even a contest. It's got 230 votes, and the next after that is Passion of the Christ with 40. So our crowd they like Michael Moore a hell of a lot better than Jesus, I'll tell you that. WQAM, hello.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, FCC game. That's the FCC game. The country over where the tsunami hit. PHUK.
Yeah, okay, great, yeah. Yeah, it is interesting how the pronunciation of that.
Yeah, I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
Now it's Phuket, okay?
Right.
Because in the beginning they were saying it a little bit too close to you-know-what. So now it's Phuket. There's not even an F sound in it. PH to me is usually, but now it's Phuket Island. At any rate. WQAM, hello. QAM. This line sounds really dead to me. It is. QAM, hello. WQM, hola.
Neil.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Hey, you bring back the election again, talking about the protests and everything, I remember watching the election, and I remember watching the news, and it was like they were quoting the exit polls. Oh, it looks good for Kerry, and then they were like
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, some of the pollsters were declaring that, in fact, John Zogby declared Kerry the winner at 5 p.m.
I printed that out, and it's like then the official numbers come in, and they didn't even say anything about the exit polls. It was like they were just pretending it never happened the last 5 hours.
You know what that would be like? That would be like if you bought a lottery ticket, and you watched the lotto results on TV that night, and you checked them in the paper, and you had all winning numbers, and you went to the lotto commission to cash it in, and they gave you a set of different numbers. You said, yeah, but these aren't the numbers you had to be. Oh, no, those are the right numbers.
And they were like the Bush administration. I mean, they were like quiet, and then the Kerrys were like, "Are you going to celebrate?" And they said, "Oh, we're just, we're going to wait and see how it goes." And then the numbers were totally opposite, like Ohio and Florida in particular. But the bastards stole. That's
absolutely correct.
Yeah, well, listen, if they stole, practice makes perfect. You know what they say, man. They did a good job in 2000. They did an even better job this time.
Yeah, but no one talks about that. How did they change it? They talk about news for 5 hours, and then afterwards they don't even talk about it anymore.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, short attention span, man.
Must be that liberal media.
That must be it.
Okay, take care.
See you, Pally. Well, the good news is that Tucker Carlson and his stupid-ass bow ties, they're gone. And so is Crossfire. No more Bob Novak at the end of the show to say, Crossfire! Like that. He's an idiot, man. He is such an old right-wing troll. And a liar, too, man. When they first invaded Iraq, he was vociferously opposed to it, but because they had to do that dog and pony show, the left against the right, all of a sudden he started sucking up to that around a year, you know? You're all over the place, you're phony as an $87 bill, and you ought to be on death row, by the way, Bobby.
You're listening to Neil Rogers, exclusively on 560 QAM.
Oh, Alonzo, you're so big.
You wanted more, and you got it. The Mad Dog is back, singing more duets on And It Sings, Volume 2. Yes! 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 Yes!
No.
Yes! Yes! Old number 88 is back, pairing off with the Greats, singing more big hits with even more big stars. The Mad Dog does them all.
Baby!
It's an all-new British invasion with the Mad Dog singing like a man.
I like it. I like it.
The truth is finally out that Jim Mandich was truly the fifth Beatle.
You gotta give me little lovin', give me little lovin'. Oh! If you want our love to last, now you're here to stay. You'll always hear me say it's gonna be alright.
Alright. Here's the Mad Dog's tender and touching tribute to the king, Elvis.
Alright.
The Mad Dog was just a little ambivalent when we asked him if he wanted to do it again.
Nah, I don't think so.
So we had Luca Brasi pay him a little visit and tell him either his brains or his signature would wind up on the contract.
That son of a bitch was cute.
Alright.
And it sings. Volume 2, available now if you move quickly.
Exactly. You know, that one is overmodulated and bizarrely mixed and distorted, and that's what makes it so good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever do that one again, Baldy. That's what the meat and potatoes is of that particular bit. At any rate, Mad Dog will be along at 2 o'clock doing more of what you just got through hearing.
All right.
And also, hopefully, educating us as to what the hell's going to happen on Monday, since tomorrow is, unless I'm mistaken, let me take a look at the, tomorrow's Friday, January number 7. That's what it says here on my schedule. And we don't have any schedule for next week because the powers that be are busy concocting, you know, plotting and planning and whatever they're putting together. Wouldn't it be, like I said, wouldn't it be nice tomorrow to have some idea so we can tell the audience, hey, Monday morning at 5, we got, we know Hank Monday morning at 7, we think. We're pretty sure, right? We know the Mad Dog Monday afternoon, 4 to 7. We know starting Monday, we're on every day 10 to 2, the full 4 hours. Stern goes bye-bye on this station and whatever. But other than that, we're like 2 to 4? No, I still say it's going to be Defoe. He's been sniffing around, man, for anything to get back in the door. And sniffing and sniffing. Can you smell it?
I smell something.
Peter Mursky. Now, CNN was hyperventilating about this this morning. It's not really a major story, but because Stern has his last show on the station tomorrow, Peter Mursky, an analyst from Oppenheimer & Company, has suggested that Viacom might let Howard Stern head out the door to Sirius Satellite Radio before his contract expires in exchange for a stake in the Satcaster. They want a stake. Ruth Chris in Toronto, by the way, is outstanding. It gives Viacom a stake in the technology that ad buyers are using as a stalking horse against broadcast radio, and it brings a fast-growing investment into the fold. Mursky was quoted by CBS Market Watch. Infinity COO, that's C. Joel Hollander has said that he doesn't want to let Stern out of his contract as the company stands to pull in significant ad revenue from his show during its last year, but But the stock for Stern trade might be the key to end of the syndicated morning show on terrestrial radio. And there it is again. See, everywhere you look, terrestrial radio. Now, up until this whole thing started with Sirius and XM, did we ever hear the term terrestrial radio ever before, really?
No.
No. I mean, even like once, no. But now it's terrestrial radio as opposed to satellite radio. All this other crap, man. Everybody's got cliches. Everybody's got buzzwords. Everybody's busy programming you, so you repeat a whole pile of Schmidt. Let's take a look at that poll one more time. And like I said, it's kind of like a little bit of a downer because I knew Fahrenheit 9/11 would probably win and would do very well, but I never dreamed like in a massive runaway. Did you?
No, I didn't.
565 votes. What do you think was the best movie of 2004? Fahrenheit 9/11, 235. Passion of the Christ, 43. They love Michael Moore. They're lukewarm about Jesus. Shrek, 237. Spider-Man, 237. Meet the Fockers, 28. Kill Bill 2, Volume 225. And Team America, where they're yanking them puppets, 25.
Bye, bye, bye!